With a name like Forest of the Black Cross, this place is bound to experience some shady supernatural happenings. Captured and published to YouTube in July of 2021, the crew are filming at night in the dark and haunted forest, and what they encounter does appear to be supernatural. Something is disturbing the forest, and as they zero in on it, they spot the dreaded figure amongst the thick brush.
Cadê, gente? Ele tá descendo. Ele ali. Olha isso! Cara.
The scary footage captures the face of a wild beast with glowing orange eyes, sharp features, and a gray tone. It looks unlike any other forest creature, and unlike any human figure at that. The crew rightly freaks out, and as a deep growl rumbles through the forest, they flee as fast as their legs will carry them. As they race away, howling is heard into the night.
Meu Deus! Passa! Onde é que entrada, porra?
Were they really faster than this werewolf, or did the wolf simply find other more alluring prey? This scary video captured an inhuman humanoid figure lurking over a human habitat, and it has been trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. Taken in someone's backyard, you first see a pool with trees beyond. It looks as though the cameraman is searching for something in the foliage. He then turns to the roof of the home. The roof at first seems to be empty, but when the cameraman turns completely to the right, this terrifying figure is spotted. Its fleshy skin is a raw sunburnt pink, its limbs are somewhat elongated, its shoulders are hunchbacked, and its pinhead is on a neck that's uncannily long. The creepiest part of it is that the figure is looking right at him. It stays still for a second, its eyes glowing as it watches the unsuspecting cameraman, before leaping with cat-like reflexes over the other side of the roof and out of sight. If this footage is real, then I have no idea what this thing possibly was. Are you a social media influencer? The next time you're off in your own world, filming your next Twitter phenom, don't look over your shoulder. Posted to YouTube by BTS in May of 2019, this video will haunt you. The Twitter video begins like any other, with its star checking himself out in the camera, before taking some film of the passing city scene outside his car window. Looks just like a normal everyday video to brighten everyone's Twitter feed, but as many YouTubers pointed out in the comments of this video, some random shadow appears behind the star's left shoulder. What is this creeping shadow lingering just behind him? Is it something paranormal, or just a ghostly fan watching him? Judge for yourself. Either way, it's 100% frightening. Do you hear that haunting melody? It may be the vocalizations of an actual ghost. Posted by Charger3933 to the Ghosts subreddit. This clip captures a ghostly song in the abandoned asylum, Eloise Psychiatric Hospital in Michigan, which we've discussed at length in previous top 15s. Charger notes in the comments that he did not hear the singing during the visit, only afterwards when he listened back to the recording. The Redditor was wandering around the abandoned asylum with a friend when he heard disembodied footsteps coming up the stairs. As he tried to capture the footsteps via a Snapchat video, he heard screaming from a distance. He saved the video and later heard the haunting singing as well. Redditor well-beloved Dubbity-Doo in the comments writes, "Obviously we have to take the audio with a grain of salt because it's possible someone was hidden in the building. That being said, I hear the screams and sleep freaky AF." The same Redditor later notes in the thread that the uploader basically caught an EVP. He also remarks that he too hears the footsteps or something moving nearby. The uploader states that he tried to stay as still as possible, and that he would also consider this an EVP, as he did not hear the singing in real time. Redditor quite fast agrees that the singing sounds like a lullaby. The Redditor tried to isolate the woman's voice, and added a clearer clip to the thread. The humming voice sounds even spookier with the audio cleared up, and as quite fast notes, you can almost hear the words safe and sound. Do you feel safe and sound after watching this video? This Redditor wrote, "Strange noises at night in my home in rural Ohio." Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about. The user explains in the description that they were woken up to these strange noises and their dog barking at them. They've had a hard time sleeping ever since. I'm not sure what to tell you, Durfee, other than maybe it's time to move out. A ghost was in our courtroom, writes a government employee in the description of this video. She is investigating a ghost sighting caught on CCTV video and comes to this paranormal conclusion.
We have a ghost in the jail. Those are called ghost orbs. They disappear up here.
She noticed some time ago that ghost orbs seem to always gather in this spot at around 5 or 6 in the morning. I was ready to dismiss this alleged ghost sighting as particles of dust, but then at 1 minute of the video, this large white object is caught moving on camera, and it looks roughly the size of someone's head, so maybe this is an apparition after all, although I think it might simply be dust from an AC vent that turns on at the same time every morning. Anyway, if they ever post any more CCTV video of the ghosts in the courtroom, I'll be sure to give a further analysis because this is pretty creepy. Don't Look Out the Window, published in November of 2011 by Mr. Jocko van Heerden. A group of friends just hanging out has one more hanger-on than expected in this scary video, filmed in Johannesburg, South Africa. The young people are just chilling in a bedroom when something catches their eye. Turning toward the sliding glass door, an enormous pale creature is standing outside their window watching. The creepy creature's features are vague, and at first it's not hard to tell if what's there is actually a living figure or not, but then it very clearly moves. Someone in the room gasps as the enormous figure lurks out of sight. What is this thing? Is it supernatural or extraterrestrial? And why is it watching them? I don't think I'd feel safe in that house ever again after this. These men tried all means to rid their friend of a demonic possession, published by Cacadores das Sombras, which translates to Shadow Hunters in April of 2021. The crew sets out on a mission to complete a satanic ritual. As the guys are driving down a dirt road in a rural area, they pass a guy walking on the side of the road. It turns out that it's their friend Lucas.
Oh, Lucas.
They slow to a stop shortly after, and the driver has his door open. Bad idea. Lucas lunges into the car at him and attempts to grab him. He seems possessed. They tie him up and throw him into their back seat. When they arrive at their destination, they find a pentagram with candles lit at all the points. They place the man into the middle of the pentagram, and it seems he can't escape it. He is whipping around out of control but still lucid at times. They light one last candle on one of the pentagram's points. Lucas is later kneeling, growling, and bent forehead to the floor at the center of the pentagram.
Olha lá. Você vai sair dele ou não vai?
He appears in a fit of some sort. After a while, the man holding the camera loses his patience with the possessed man. It doesn't meet its mark. One of the crew calms the cameraman outside, and a ruckus is heard inside shortly after. They return to find Lucas lying sideways on the ground, still at the center of the pentagram.
Ô Marquinhos, sai daí, mano, sai daí.
Ele torceu, velho.
Quê?
Ele torceu assim a cabeça, gritou e caiu no chão, mano.
Ô Lucas.
Tem alguma coisa? Não fiz nada, mano.
What happened to him? Did the ritual work? Although he continued to remain still and silent at the end of the video, I hope he is free from his possession. When you're searching for ghosts, you may just find them. Published in August of 2019 by YouTuber Alex Paranormal, he writes, "Me and a friend went back to a known haunted location. This haunted location, as Alex adds in the comments section, is an abandoned restaurant and vineyard in the countryside of Hampshire, England. Using ghost tracking tools, they do appear to sense some paranormal presence in the room. For one, the temperature drops. For another, the spirit box seems to be capturing some communication, as those in the comments note. But it's at 16 minutes 50 seconds where your nightmare begins." You can see a shadow figure move past in the archway right before the group heads into the kitchen. To whom does this shadow belong? Is it an evil entity of some kind? Don't know about you, but I wouldn't stick around long enough to find out. There's a famous pub in Sydney, Australia called the Carlisle Castle Hotel. For years, this local watering hole has been haunted by the ghost of Old Pete, a bitter ex-employee who left the earth quite some time ago, but not his job. His ghostly antics have been caught on camera no less than 3 times. The first time Pete was caught on tape, he was helping a customer. The unsuspecting man opens the door to the cooler when Pete decides to grab 2 bottles of red wine for himself. His ghost grip must have not been too tight though, because both bottles go crashing to the floor. Looking at the footage, there's no way that the shelf gave out or anything like that. The bottles were thrown to the ground with deliberate force with no one nearby. Another incident occurred when the bar was full of witnesses. Everyone is happily enjoying themselves when a hanging red wine glass suddenly dislodges itself and smashes into the counter. Glass shards fly everywhere and the entire bar takes notice. Although this could have simply been a freak accident, what are the chances that, of all the red wine glasses, the one that's directly underneath the server happens to be the one to fall and break? The timing is almost too perfect to be a coincidence. Old Pete strikes again. The third and final tape reveals a glimpse of Old Pete himself. The bar is empty this time when the angry ghost suddenly materializes in front of the security camera. If you look closely, you can make out Old Pete's head at the bottom of the screen. He appears to be waving. Many other bartenders and customers all claim to have seen Old Pete for themselves in one way or another. It isn't uncommon for tapes to turn on by themselves, and the bartenders have seen what they can only describe as strange things while counting down their registers after close. To make this all even stranger, all of the bottles that go crashing to the floor are always high-end red wines. This just so happened to be Old Pete's favorite drink, at least when he was still with the living. Vlad Reznov checks out an abandoned hospital in their scariest Russian paranormal exploration yet. After 14 minutes, they find an uncovered underground entrance.
Ну что, там есть что-то? Аккуратно, ты понимаешь, что мы здесь точно не одни в этом доме?
Еще не знает.
Влад, иди туда!
His assistant sees it first, a ghost with long black hair over its face, standing in the doorway. They escape underground and don't look back, but I did, and here's my thoughts. Overall, I don't think this video is real. The figure looks like a generic Hollywood ghost sighting. The way it's positioned perfectly center in the doorway with hair over its face is a classic pose from The Ring, and unlikely to be real. There's no set rules for what a real ghost sighting looks like, but with that said, I'm pretty sure this is not it. A scary ghost video from other studios has people wondering what's even real anymore. Normally, I'm hesitant about any channel that has studio or production in the name for obvious reasons, but as one person commented, this video looks compelling. This channel says they have a studio in the name because they produce beats, not ghost videos. Okay, valid reason. Let's look. So his friend Cody has been experiencing some weird activity that he thinks could be paranormal. Creepy stuff like the sink running and flickering lights with no one touching the switch. Cody soon got into the habit of recording video whenever he was in the house, just so he could have some evidence to show his friends to prove he's not a liar. This short clip is one of his most terrifying for sure.
Nope, 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 nope.
He comes back to a trashed kitchen after stepping out to talk to his girlfriend on the phone for 15 minutes. Everyone can see the open cabinets and tilted chair, but only Cody noticed the figure peering at him from the very top of a tall doorway at an impossible angle. He says the resolution is higher on the original video, and this is what the still image looks like without the compression from uploading on YouTube. The difference between the two is so major that I'm almost positive this has to be a Photoshop. But if it's real, you should never walk into that room again, or the whole house for that matter. While crossing a bridge on a foggy night, this motorist witnessed a live vanishing act. Posted to TikTok, a biker is seen up ahead. The motorist looks right and then left while crossing the bridge. The biker is still in front of him, but he is getting more and more lost in the fog, and then suddenly the biker disappears altogether, even as the fog clears up ahead. Where did he go? Wherever he went, humans were clearly not meant to see it. Perhaps the film night at the museum wasn't too far off. This statue, located in England's Manchester Museum, appears to come to life. The ancient Egyptian statue dates back to around 1800 BC, and perhaps is cursed by an ancient Egyptian spell. According to the museum's curator, Campbell Price, one day he noticed the 10-inch statue had turned entirely around. As reported by Manchester Evening News, Price said, "I thought it was strange because it is in a case, and I'm the only one who has a key. When Price moved it back to its original position, he found it had moved again the very next day. He decided the next step was to set up a time-lapse video, but the video raised more questions than it answered, as the statue was caught red-handed rotating counterclockwise on its own by increments that wouldn't appear visible to the human eye. This occurs only during the daytime. The statue is still at night. While an Egyptian spell isn't off the table, one British physicist thinks the movement can be explained by something called differential friction. Brian Cox says this friction is caused by the footsteps of museum goers, whose vibration moves the statue during the day. Price, however, calls this into question, as the statue has been housed at the museum since the early 20th century, and it hasn't moved before. It also appears to be turning in a perfect circle and only up to 180 degrees, so that it's facing backward. Even more interesting, on the rear of the statue is an inscription requesting offerings of bread, oxen, and fowl. Perhaps this is the answer. The statue needs to be fed. A kid feels suddenly and inexplicably watched from the front door. He looks through the peephole and can't believe what he sees. He grabs his phone to show us that his apartment is haunted by a ghost. It looks like something scary is peeking at him from around the corner. It's creepy beyond belief, but look at this bright fluorescent light. I think he's using the light to bend a basic lens flare into the appearance of a figure. If so, then this video could help explain how a lot of other supposed ghost sightings were really just tricks of light caught on camera. But if that's not the case, then I have no explanation for what he managed to record that night. Bree Calderon gets an alert from his home security system. The motion sensor camera has caught some weird things on tape over his table. Meanwhile, a small light is by the door that he can't explain. According to Bree, the ghost is moving towards an urn off camera that contains the cremated remains of his grandmother. That would be terrifying, but there's no way to tell if any part of the story is actually true. With that said, the strange mist might actually be some small picture distortion, but this visual glitch wouldn't be enough to set off the motion detector. Basically, I can't fully explain this video, so this might actually be paranormal. A bizarre unknown creature sighting needs more attention because it's beyond creepy. Melly Sisu is watching the sun come up over a riverbank in Ormond Beach, Florida. Her moment of tranquility is replaced with fear when this comes floating her way.
I don't know what this is. That is a body or something. I don't know what that is.
She follows it along the riverbank for as long as possible before the current grows strong and takes the odd object. Millie describes it as having scales more like a snake than a fish, and also says she legitimately thought it was something from another planet when she first caught the creature on camera because of the huge size and weird shape.
I don't know what that is. It looks like an alien. Look at that. The camera won't focus. Oh my.
To her, this looks like the snout of a humanoid creature with rows of sharp teeth. I tried to find a picture of a similar fish in the area, but admittedly was unable to, and maybe it's just a reflection, but it looks like it could be much larger underwater. She says if this was a fish, then nobody has been able to show her a picture of what it is. Let's help her solve this mysterious unexplained video, because to be honest, I'm not sure what this mysterious figure is either. If none of us can figure out a better answer, then maybe we have to concede that a strange creature is in fact lurking around this region of Florida. Is this the trail of a ghost? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit. Jen the Hab explains, my dad took a video of a helium balloon floating around the house to scare my kids, but captured something else. The video shows the helium balloon in question drifting in the corner of the room. As it floats there, suddenly a white, unidentifiable object flies forward and another swings past. According to Jen the Hab, her father didn't see the wisp until he watched the video back. Redditor Mr. Blistered Lips writes, if not paranormal, I'd suggest a flash from reflected sunlight off of a car outside hitting the lens, but the Redditor counters that, according to her, the back deck looks over a conservation area where no cars pass. While some viewers still insist it's a reflection, others think something is definitely moving in front of the camera. But is it paranormal? What is your wild guess? Personally, I'm going with the first option. When UPS shows up at your door and you haven't ordered anything, be wary. Published to YouTube in May of 2020 by NeoSum. This Ring doorbell footage from a London home shows a man dressed in a UPS coat and holding a package ring the homeowner's doorbell. As he's waiting, he appears preoccupied on the phone. The homeowner answers, and that's when things go off the rails. A moment later, the man barges in, and 3 others come in after him. News reports from May of 2020 clarify that the suspects barged in, demanding a security box from the father. 2 men were charged in the matter. All the more reason not to open the door to anyone. If you ever find yourself swimming with the fishes, you'd better hope they're not piranhas. The bite force of a black piranha is incredibly powerful. It's 3 times as strong as an American alligator, and 30 times stronger than its own weight. Point being, no dentist would want to work on these chompers. This video shows just how effective a piranha bite can be. Published in May of 2011, this bite test was administered in Ecuador, holding a piranha in one hand and a stick in the other. The man brings the stick near the piranha's mouth and the fish easily and instantly snips like a pair of scissors. There's no question about it. If given a chance, the seemingly innocent fish will take more than a bite out of you. It may take a limb. Sarah Presley of Meet the Presleys apparently has caught a ghost on camera who is trying a little too hard to better know her and her family. It's past midnight when her son Josh turns off the lights. A ghost orb appears in the middle of the video at 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and then again briefly at 2 minutes and 13 seconds. When he crosses the room on his phone, the orb moves away from him. I think this light is from the screen of his phone. His mom, on the other hand, is creeped out beyond belief and pretty worried. Overall, I'm not sure if this video is paranormal or not and need your help to decide. Alan Kloss likes cars, but beyond that, he also likes exploring abandoned places that are creepy, really creepy. One such exploration takes place at a bridge in Walnut Port, Pennsylvania, where a woman in white fell into the canal and did not come out alive. Notice how at 3 minutes and 37 seconds the camera refuses to focus on the bridge, a sign of the supernatural some would say. They move their ghost hunting equipment to the edge of the water and get a strong paranormal response.
Flashlight.
The flashlight turns on by itself, and they use 2 different pieces of paranormal equipment to independently verify the presence of something supernatural there with them. This seems like it could be the exact location where she went under.
Look, alright, stopped back here.
And judging by the way his ghost meter goes crazy here at 37 minutes and 34 seconds, I'd say this is either an underground utility wire or the place where she was laid to rest.
Red, orange, orange, orange.
Hit red?
Yeah.
He actually hit red.
Orange, red, red, red,
Wow.
red.
Oh my.
What do you think they've discovered? Well, driverless cars are a thing. I don't think this is one of them. Published in April of 2013, a mysterious vehicle is going berserk as it pulls up to the toll booth. The car's lights are flashing on and off as it drives forward. The toll booth operator holds out his hand, apparently not paying attention at first, but then he sees the most astonishing thing. There's no one in the driver's seat. The toll booth man stands up from his chair, leaning out toward the car in shock. You can see the steering wheel spin round, moving back and forth. There's no one in the seat, nor in the passenger seat, nor the back seat. The toll booth man exits his booth and stands in front of the vehicle looking in. That's when this creepy being climbs up the rear window. Dark hair, pale as a ghost, definite The Ring Girl vibes. The mysterious figure causes the toll booth man to fall on the ground in fear. He quickly rushes off screen, and that thing on the rear window keeps on climbing toward the roof before sinking again out of sight. Is this video real? If so, I don't think things ended well for this toll booth worker. These strange sounds in the sky have never been properly explained. I found no less than 5 different incidents of the exact same grinding and humming metal on metal noise. Sometimes it comes from far away, like this one from Germany. And sometimes it echoes throughout the whole city, like this one from France. And sometimes it sounds like it's breaking directly overhead, like this one from Edmonton, Canada. But out of all of them, this recording from an unknown Spanish-speaking country is the clearest. These people are from around the world, and obviously can't all know each other. Yet each video is recorded between 2015 and 2016. I don't know if this is a warning, an experiment, or what, but I'm worried that one day we will find out. This home surveillance video shows a round transparent object dart across someone's front yard. It starts from a walkway and then goes down a hill towards the house, perhaps looking for a way inside. Meanwhile, whatever this is supposed to be glares at the camera without moving, and when I zoom in, I think those might be horns. A family is watching television when a mysterious knocking sound pulls them away from their show and into a frightening situation. Listen to this part and tell me if you can hear it too. They sit up and hear 2 more knocks, much deeper than before. It almost sounds like 2 heavy footsteps coming from within the room. As he opens the door, but according to him, there was nothing to protect the home against. Absolutely no one was on the other side. One more observation, an orb happens to go by at the exact moment they hear the knocking sound, which I think could be a signal that someone's already found its way into their home. Passengers are boarding this airplane in Thailand, but how is this possible when the entrance is disconnected from the airport? Are these people or spirits? You decide. As a counterpoint, someone pointed out that there could have been a second entrance here on the other side. The people could be traveling in an L-shaped tunnel, but since we can't confirm it from this angle, both explanations are plausible. Something is haunting the lobby of England's Brighton Museum, according to those who work there. This creepy moment, caught on CCTV video at 3 a.m., could be the paranormal proof they need to be taken seriously. The camera captures a bright light and then a souvenir mysteriously falls to the ground with no one near. Kind of like a ghost moved the object, employees would later say. I think the quote-unquote mysterious light could be a glass object reflecting light as it falls over. Maybe the shelf is a little unlevel. Maybe an employee or a visitor put it too close to the edge. I am 50-50 on this one, and we'll be sure to keep an eye out for other paranormal events caught on camera at this possibly haunted museum. Originally posted to YouTube by Dark Pirate Stories in October of 2020, this haunting clip takes you on a walkthrough of the Church of Ghosts in the Czech Republic. The cathedral is full of faceless statues covered in stone cloaks, sitting in the pews. The image is unsettling, but it's meant to be. Lying east of Prague in a small town, this place has been around since the 14th century. When the roof collapsed in 1968, it went abandoned. Some said it was haunted. In a bid to restore it, local residents Peter Kugel and art student Jacob Hadrava teamed up with the latter, creating this eerie installation to draw people and interest to the location. It worked. So far, they've been able to repair the roof, and this location continues to get big attention online. Some property owners just can't let go. Posted by Sour Sweet Gone to the Ghosts subreddit, the previous owner of this restaurant makes his jealousy known. The security footage shows some employees behind the counter at the restaurant, preparing some paperwork. No customers are present, and that's probably a good thing. Suddenly, a framed picture on the wall falls straight down onto the one below it and flips over onto the floor. One of the workers literally throws his hands into the air while the other jumps, covering her mouth in astonishment. According to the Redditor, the picture that fell was an award for the new owner's restaurant. Is the previous owner sore about their success? Some of the comments suggest the nail or wall fastening fell out or broke, but the Redditor has an answer for that and says the nail was still in the wall and the way it was hung made falling on its own seem unlikely. So what do you think? Broken nail or jealous ghost? I think that's a pretty fair explanation about the nail, so I'm definitely leaning on the side of the paranormal. Even ghosts get hungry. Published to YouTube in September of 2017, this spirit has got quite the appetite. While a pair films the inside of the shop, explaining in Spanish what was going on, a package of crisps fall from the shelf. As the woman filming approaches it, suddenly it shoots across the floor toward her. She and the dude quickly flee, and who can blame them? Maybe pranking the living really makes you work up an appetite. Pripat Amusement Park is an abandoned park in the Chernobyl region. It was abandoned before its planned grand opening after the meltdown that contaminated the area in 1986. Posted to TikTok by Edwin Calderon 608, this TikToker is wondering what this person is doing in the highly contaminated park. The deserted Ferris wheel looks particularly gloomy, standing still with no one on it. That is until the viewer zooms in on Google Earth to see a male figure standing in the service box beside the ride. The man isn't armored against the radiation that still pollutes the area. He is completely unprotected against it, leaving me to wonder if he's perhaps superhuman. Anyone want to risk a visit to ask him? No, that'd be a terrible idea. This ghost is trying to bum a ride. Posted by Ghost Videos in July of 2020, a man was driving in Johor, Malaysia when he crossed paths with a hitchhiking spirit. The dashcam footage shows a dark, empty room at night. According to the timestamp, it's around 2 in the morning in July of 2019. As the car barrels down the road, a semi-transparent figure appears in the dark lane on the right. You can barely make out the apparition as it holds out its thumb to catch a ride. What do you think? A live person half hidden in the darkness? Hitchhiking in the darkness of night? If so, what is the spirit's destination? We may never know. Uncanny videos without explanations are often creepy in their own right, but this one takes it to a whole new level. Posted to YouTube by Gugun Reaper in October of 2016, the video is titled, "What Are You Thinking? Deep Web Video." Soon it will have you asking yourself that very question. The clip shows someone in a black trash bag with a white cloth tied over his head. The thing coughs a few times, looking super sad and terribly creepy. At one point it lifts its hands to its mouth, and suddenly its mouth is flooded red. It's unclear what is happening. Is this thing coughing up red liquid? Fernando Costa suggests in the comments, he was starting to hick it all up slowly, then blam, bile and everything all finally came up. In the end, the thing holds a piece of paper with writing on it. You can see through the paper. And though he's holding it upside down, it reads, "What are you thinking after watching this video? All it's doing for me is creeping me out." YouTuber Stevanka, also known as Stephanie from 90 Day Fiancé, is certainly no stranger to having bizarre moments caught on camera, but nothing could have prepared her for a creepy surprise like this.
I don't really talk about paranormal stuff on my channel.
The reality TV star thinks she could have possibly caught real evidence of a paranormal ghost sighting on her home CCTV system. Let's analyze the events and see if this spooky encounter is real or fake. One night, while entertaining her family, Stevanka casually opens up the security app to check her CCTV cameras. That's when she discovers some mysterious activity going on in front of her house.
Eventually it dawns on me, like, that's the figure of a person.
Within 10 seconds, the bizarre figure seems to transform into a solid white, ghostly floating form. Stevanka herself alternates between believing and not believing the activity is paranormal. I don't want to get anything wrong, so these are her exact words at 6 minutes and 10 seconds.
I think it's a ghost. Everyone I've talked to, everyone I've showed it to, even skeptics are like, that's a ghost.
So she thinks it's probably paranormal, which is fair, but I do have a theory. The porch light and the lamppost are reflecting light back into the camera, which could create this bizarre effect in the middle. But with that said, Stevanka has tried to recreate this scary moment many times, and she has a legitimate question.
Maybe it was a glitch, but then, like, if it was a glitch, then why did it stop? Like, why did it only happen that one night?
I can't say for sure, but I suspect that one of the lights was out when she tried this again. I think both of the lights have to be on at the same time for this bizarre occurrence to happen. But if she did replicate this under the exact same lighting conditions and saw nothing, then it would prove that this is a mysterious figure caught on tape after all. The Haunted Side is a ghost hunting channel in Reno, Nevada, led by Patrick McQuarrie, a paranormal investigator who has been experiencing ghost sightings since the age of 9, and he likes exploring abandoned places where something has gone wrong in the past. Tonight, he and his fellow ghost hunter, Jason Spencer, will explore the Truckee House, a creepy and cursed place haunted by the spirits of a mother, father, and 3 children, ever since they were slain by a random madman sometime in the 1940s. Within minutes, the Haunted Side detects supernatural activity on their equipment. The paranormal energy is so strong that the ghost family can finish his sentence.
We don't mean you any harm. If somebody came in here and hurt my throat, you hear that? Yeah.
A weak and weary ghost voice must belong to the father. His EVP responses always make sense, like here when they ask him to read some graffiti on the wall.
What does that say? Can you tell us what that says? What was that? That was creepy.
On the top floor is a small rotten room that is mostly withered away from the elements. The scary disembodied voice of the father follows, hopeless as ever as it advises them not to walk across the weak floor.
Be very careful. Is this safe for me to do this? No.
They walk around the perimeter of the house instead for more paranormal evidence, and sure enough, the two explorers hear more possible ghost noises.
Did you hear that?
The ghost hunter is understandably a little too creeped out to talk.
A young sounding, like almost cry. Like, but like young.
But in other words, it's a little ghost girl crying from the nearby haunted woods.
Did you hear that?
A few minutes later, they record this ghost sighting on video as the hand of a child pulls away from them at the last moment, a hand that's reaching out from the basement window. Although this could be the tail of a rat as it scurries away. With that said, some people claim to see a scary face looking not too far from where the ghost hand was sighted. I think I see it, but then again it kind of looks like a rock in the grass, so who knows? The exploration continues inside. Their paranormal tracking equipment is able to pick out the wireframe of Jason, which proves it works, and then it detects a second mysterious figure pressed up against the support column, like it's hiding from them. Soon the scary moment goes from a ghost sighting to actual paranormal contact.
The scary part right now is this floor.
Yeah,
Are you see into the basement?
Are you down in the basement?
Both ghost sightings cease when Jason can no longer take the cold and has to walk away. The question is whether or not this was a friendly gesture or a more serious encounter, maybe even an attempt at demonic possession. Don't Pet a Sleeping Seal, published by New Generation and originally posted on TikTok by couple of blokes. These Aussies found a leopard seal from Antarctica washed up on a beach in South Australia. Of course, they presumed the seal had passed away. After all, it was lying very still in the sand, undisturbed by their approach. But as the man heads over to pet its back, the seal pops up ready to battle. Who knew a seal could look so much like a T-Rex?
Well, I'm officially...
Baring all of its teeth at the man, the seal hops forward a bit but then rests back in the dirt again. The man, on the other hand, jumps a mile. As many in the comments point out, this is the most Australian video ever. YouTuber Jedward Scissorbangs writes, Australia, touch dangerous animal first, ask questions later. Miss me with that. I think I'm just gonna stay indoors. This ghost has had a few too many. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Best of Us. Here is yet another haunted bar whose resident ghosts' sauced up antics were caught on camera. Watch the bottles to the left of the bar. One bottle on the second shelf starts to nudge toward the edge. While a wet surface sometimes has that effect on items placed on that surface, it usually doesn't lead to this. After inching slowly toward the ledge, the bottle takes a sudden jarring leap, knocking a second bottle below it off the display. This doesn't seem like a natural progression. Rather, it seems like the bottle was yanked from the ledge by some unseen entity. Many in the comments relate their own stories of haunted bars, with Redditor Your Dumb Idiot chiming in. I used to work at a bar that was haunted. Always the same bottle thrown off the shelf in the morning despite me moving it to prove it wasn't a ghost. Well, many, including myself, wonder what these bar ghosts could possibly want from us by throwing bottles around. Redditor Tech Impaired has one theory. He writes, they just wanted some booze. I see what they did there. Daffy of Busan TV is a YouTuber from Ambon, Indonesia, who makes ghost hunting videos in Depok City. One of the scariest, most haunted places he's ever gone exploring was a large abandoned hospital that shut down after too many things went wrong.
Ya, belum lama rumah sakit ini terbengkalai. Astagfirullah. Anjir, serem amat ya.
One of the hospital's final mistakes before getting shut down was letting a nun named Sister Nancy pass away on the ICU floor. Now her angry spirit is watching over this haunted place and not in a loving way.
Assalamualaikum.
Well,
Antara gua halu atau tidak, tapi tadi gua ngelihat seperti ada orang lewat di sini.
As Daffy goes exploring, only the smallest of clues, flashes of light where his camera is not pointing, for example, belie the presence of anything paranormal. A walled-off entrance reveals an even older wing that feels entirely wrong. This place is haunted more than any other part of the hospital, he's sure of it. Soon he finds the ICU room on the second floor, the place where the ghost nun is said to haunt. He knows there's no turning back now.
Tadi gue mendengar sesuatu dari arah sini. Oke, kita langsung aja ke ruang ICU. Suster Neng sih.
He leaves the ICU ward feeling extremely uncomfortable, but without conclusive paranormal evidence, and as he takes a final look around,
Keren, sumpah ini keren. Assalamualaikum.
he hears something moving on wheels one room over. A row of cots remains undisturbed except for one that's been pulled out. I don't know if it was Sister Nancy, but I wouldn't stick around to find out. This video is over half an hour long, and I get every impression that he's truly exploring this abandoned hospital all by himself. A hospital that's every bit as haunted as the rumors say. Ever felt like you were being watched? These three boys definitely had reason to. Posted by the comics man to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes, "Some dudes go to the Danakil Desert or a park. What is in the first frame? The video shows three kids getting ready to do some parkour, everyday kid stuff, but not far beyond in the background. Look at what is watching them from a nearby tree. The figure appears like a silhouette and gives off serious Slenderman vibes. The ominous way it's lurking there makes the otherwise innocent parkour video intensely creepy. You can vaguely see the figure again at a distance. At 1 minute and 43 seconds, it continues to stand there in the clump of trees, and again around 3 minutes in. What is this thing? Do these boys have a lurker? Nowhere is safe." These videos were taken at the annual Global Citizen Music Festival of 2018 in New York City. Everyone is enjoying the late night concert until a crowd of people suddenly start trying to escape and basically cause a stampede. Nobody knows what they are running from, and they won't find out until much later, but everybody is moving fast and afraid for their lives. Their voices are filled with panic and raw fear fuels their every step as they grab their friends and try to get out as fast they can.
What the just happened?
What's going on? Do you know what?
I have no idea what's happening.
The situation becomes all too real when a head officer of the NYPD comes on stage and makes a brief and serious sounding announcement.
Please, everybody, stop! Remain calm. Remain calm. Try and open up the front. Try and everybody remain calm. Try and move backwards.
Try to move backwards is all the police will say without any further explanation, which sends everyone into even more of an uproar. Those who make it out find the entrance is swarming with emergency vehicles, but still nobody knows why. As it turns out, the source of the commotion was a large steel barricade that fell over and made a loud banging noise. The bang carried throughout the venue and sounded like someone discharging a firearm, which caused a panic. I can only imagine how stressful this must have been for everybody, especially when none of them know what is wrong at the time. Fortunately, a strong police presence was able to keep the evacuation orderly and help stop people from trampling over each other. Sophie Dosey is a talented contortionist with a twisted sense of humor, so to speak. Here she does a crab walk backwards at top speeds, with her head barely hanging above the floor. This is a really creative, ingenious way to scare people that I've never seen done before, but I can't help but think it's a little dangerous too. I mean, if she steps on her hair while walking like this, her neck could snap all the way back. Maybe I'm just exaggerating, but I think I see it almost happen multiple times as she races down the aisle, which adds a whole new level of fear to the overall situation. This video was taken near the Pearl Tower in Shanghai, China. The forecast is clearly cloudy and thunder can be heard in the distance. It appears people began recording when they saw someone who appears to be levitating or hanging off the tower. Suddenly, there's a surge of lightning, and it appears this person acts as a lightning rod because he's shocked numerous times by the lightning. But the man is fine and stays suspended in midair. I couldn't find any additional information on the incident, so it appears we'll never know what happened to this individual beyond the recording of this video, if this video is real. Have you ever captured something out of the corner of your eye in the woods? Vivian Hoffman shares this mysterious video to Facebook page Kentucky Mysteries. Watch closely. Let's see it again. The video was taken while driving, so it's an unsteady capture, but this still photo gives us a clearer image of the figure. It looks like someone in a long cloak wearing a hat. Though the attire isn't distinct, it looks like clothing from a past time period. The figure looks unnaturally dark, considering it's the middle of the day. I feel like it could be a shadow figure. Many in the comments say the Old Hills Mountains of Kentucky are known to be haunted. Whether a ghost, a skinwalker, or the devil himself, I'm not sure, but this unknowable being definitely makes me nervous. The adventurer Abdullah Al-Anbari goes exploring an abandoned building in Saudi Arabia in search of a poltergeist, or a jinn as it's referred to in the area. There are many floors to explore and each one holds horrors of its own. He turns around to see a mysterious figure that could be a jinn or more likely the shadow of the banister in front of it. He continues to explore and the paranormal activity continues to stay one step ahead of him. The ghost keeps throwing objects at him, guiding him in a way towards a final confrontation that he is not ready to witness. He looks up in time to capture a glimpse of a scary round face peering down at him. Tell me what he says to it on his way out. Whatever he says seems to cause him much anger based on what happens next. He quickly leaves before the spirit becomes any more upset. Time to break out the sage again. Posted to TikTok by Ratliff Wife, this Ring security footage was captured at around 9:30 p.m. in March of 2022. The video shows the front porch of a home. After a moment, a dark shadow moves across the camera. The shadow reappears several times over the course of a minute. Several bugs appear in the clip, but they are clear. Nothing looks like this shadow. The uploader says their dog was also growling in the room at the time this video was captured. Did it sense something? Some in the comments think so, with Carolyn Mulhall writing, "Pets know, better start praying." And it's true that many people swear that pets seem to have an easier time seeing the paranormal than humans. I have Al Qasimia of a ghost hunting channel called The Horror is looking for a phantom figure said to haunt this building in Israel. A ghost who is apparently quite eager to be caught on camera.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات
He keeps hearing a sink drip even though no water is coming from the faucet because no water runs to the building.
في السماء بسم الله بسم الله.
The ghost hunter also detects small movements in windowless rooms that are devoid of all life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
That's when something inside of him says that trouble is near, that he needs to check out the window.
You see anything?
A mysterious and shadowy figure is caught on camera, an apparition capable of powerful acts. Based on what happens next, the ghost hunter knows he's been marked by the jinn, but there is no time to get out of the way as the spirit seemingly teleports inside.
بالله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات.
The featureless shadow figure peers around the corner and the brave ghost hunter gives chase. When he rounds the corner, all traces of the paranormal entity are gone. If this is not paranormal, then I wonder how the ghost was able to disappear within seconds. There are no editing cuts that I can see. On the Chills Narrator subreddit, a user named Dope Island Skate continues to post all the weird things caught on camera while living in his haunted home. This time he's looking at his living room on CCTV video when creepy stuff starts happening once again on his home security system. A noise in the hallway makes him turn around. A weirdly shaped small figure is caught on camera, but he must not see it in real life because he doesn't say anything. There is no doubt that the light is moving by itself at 1 minute before he hits the light switch. He does a full 360 around it, not believing his eyes, and you can clearly see nothing is attached. Almost everyone who watched this video on the Chills subreddit thought it was creepy and real, and I don't really have a counter explanation as to how it could be faked. Nothing about this mysterious video is easy to explain, and that's why I think it might actually be real. Hopefully Dope Island Skate continues to keep us updated, unless he decides to move out of his haunted house first, which I would completely understand. A feisty octopus is heading out to sea when it sees it's been caught on camera and has had enough. The creature comes forward and even throws a swing. Getting chased underwater by this deep-sea creature is creepy, but the backstory is what makes this video even creepier. Moments before this was caught on camera, Bohema TV says he was swimming in the ocean when he felt something wrap around his thigh. Only when he came back to shore did he realize this was a living creature attached to him and not seaweed like he had originally thought. Here you can see it try to blend in with the rocks for a bit before giving up and swimming away. Apparently they have really sharp teeth and strong jaws, so luckily Bohema TV got away safely before getting chomped. A YouTuber named Rifat claims that going to this haunted place in Palestine proved to be a psychological undoing. Let's see what was so scary in this paranormal exploration gone wrong. He seems to have trouble keeping his balance and stumbles backwards twice for no reason.
يا شباب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا شباب قلت أجرب الله يقطع شر يوم تمت بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
At this point, I think he realizes there's no way he should be falling 3 times in 5 minutes and thinks a ghost could be near, as he is trying to decide if this is really happening or just his imagination. Some of the best paranormal EVP evidence ever recorded is caught on camera.
هذه قصة وأنا والله العظيم خايف يعني ممنوع في الليل عن جد ممنوع يعني نطلع هيك كمان إيه إيش هاد؟
Loud and scary screaming noises are coming from the woods. The screams of a human, most certainly not an animal.
يا عمي من وين أطلع؟
He doesn't investigate the noise because this could be a spirit setting up a trap that he is too smart to fall for. I'm glad he didn't go any further. If he had gone any deeper into the forest to see what it was, then this scary video might not ever have been uploaded. I have a feeling that he narrowly avoided getting ambushed by some group of bandits or even something paranormal. This slow motion video captures a man peeling around a corner as fast as he can, and soon you see exactly what has him moving so fast. A gigantic cheetah literally bounces off the wall in pursuit. The video ends before we exactly get to see what happens next. Maybe this cheetah really did come in straight from the jungle, or maybe it was kept as a household pet until one day it simply snapped. Whatever the case may be, I doubt it ended well for the person running away. Then again, I have no idea why he would just happen to have a camera set up to catch this event perfectly, so maybe it was scripted after all. Let me know what you think is going on here, and also tell me if you have any more background information that can help us put this video in better context. This video looks like it was intentionally set up to capture something that has been appearing in a closet lately. At first you can't really see anything, but after a while, the shadows begin to form into a human-like figure. The shadowy shape peeks out from behind the door, and at one point even appears to have two bright white eyes. The grainy quality of this video is a strong indication that it was edited. But then again, this may be a very old cell phone video, or perhaps a very early internet video that needed to be heavily compressed before uploading. This home in Villisca, Iowa is where an axe-wielding maniac once took the lives of an entire family and 2 guests. Whoever did it was never brought to justice, and now, more than 100 years later, the restless spirits of those left behind have yet to find peace. A YouTuber named Lighthouse Music senses the spirit of children hiding in the closet and starts recording. She speaks in a nice tone and offers candy. Nothing happens for some time until... Then, as if further proof was needed, the spirit appears to follow some other basic commands.
Just a little bit further, or can you close it?
They even ask the child to open the door wider than before as a test, and it timidly seems to obey. But the part that really has me convinced is at the very end.
Just in case that was you, I'm going to do as promised. I'm going to leave you some candy. I'm going to leave it right here, over here on this chair for you, okay? Well, thank you.
Notice how the door shuts harder than any other time in the video as soon as the spirit gets what it wants. Maybe it could be a draft from a nearby window opening and closing the door, but this definitely seems like childlike behavior to me. The Franklin County Old Jail, which was established in 1818, is widely known for being extremely haunted, and usually, it seems that whoever dares to enter finds themselves getting more than they bargained for. A YouTube channel named Paranormal Purgatory decided to venture down into the jail themselves to have a look around the place. The jail is eerily decrepit and worn down, something you'd expect from a 200-year-old building, but just because it's worn down doesn't mean that the place remains uninhabited.
Look at that. Let's get real.
See the old rocking horse in there?
No, what I see.
Go in there.
No, what I see.
Go in there.
No, what I see.
Go in there. Did you hear that?
I heard that too.
It's in the whistle.
So next to the bed here, I do kind of see what they're talking about here. If you just focus on the bed, there appears to be just kind of this shadow, and then it almost seems to take off to the right here.
Old rocking horse in there?
No, what I see.
Go in there.
No, what I see.
Go in there.
No, what I see.
Go in there. Did you hear that?
Oh, right there. Okay, I now see exactly what they're talking about. So there's going to be a flash of light. So it looks like it's like a head and kind of a torso, and there's that flash of light, and then it looks like it just sort of pops right up. It happens so quickly. I should play this in slow motion. Right here, don't you see that? And then it just pops right up just in the split second that it's shown in the light. Even though the crew behind the channel had only just started to look around the jail, little did they know that they didn't need to look any further for signs of paranormal life, as you can make out what appears to be some sort of shadow figure right next to the bed, which vanishes just as quick as it appears. During the rest of the video, the crew explores the remaining areas of the jail, but are ultimately unable to find any other signs of paranormal activity. Even still though, seeing this shadow figure in person during an investigation would be enough to terrify anybody. There's nothing more haunted than something that moves of its own accord, except maybe when it jolts aggressively of its own accord. Submitted to Reddit by Nick4566. This swing in India is not child's play. Nick writes, this was seen in a well-known city of India. The park is closed since a year as a lady took her own life here long back, and the park is not used by children. Watch the swing at the beginning of the clip flinging back and forth on its own. It's a bit unnerving already, but as some in the comments point out, someone might have pushed it before the person began filming. You probably thought that yourself, but watch further. The swing slows halfway through the video only to suddenly jolt back to life. Flinging aggressively back and forth. The leaves in the surrounding trees are barely fluttering, so none of this could be due to wind or nature. It's completely supernatural. Could the spirit of the woman who took her life still be here? And why is she swinging? We may never know. A rough landing in Buckland, Alaska becomes even scarier when you learn all of the things the pilot said. The fact that anyone is alive is a miracle. They were trying to keep the plane from sharply veering to the right and colliding with everyone below. The plane's steering was off and nobody knew to get out of the way, and it's not like planes have horns or anything, so there was no way to tell them that they were in the way, while everyone on the ground was folding their arms and waiting. The pilot was freaking out and applying a maneuver called asymmetric reverse thrust. Basically, he reversed the engines to change the trajectory of the landing. It cost him a wheel but spared others their lives. So the lesson of this scary video is to assume the worst and give planes plenty of room to land. Situations like this don't always have happy endings.
I know. That's actually so creepy. There's a guy right there, and I'm kind of freaked out, not gonna lie.
Blake Gray fears he's captured, something that would terrify all of us behind the dumpster of an abandoned building while exploring. His brave friend slowly creeps up. So obviously this was a skit that was pre-planned, right? Wrong. Let's analyze what they were wearing on the day they captured this mysterious figure. Ripped jeans, skinny jeans, blue jean shorts. The mysterious stranger is wearing khakis. So yeah, this creepy event is scary and most importantly could be real. The person is still alive, but to what degree is unknown. A twitch of the leg could mean asleep or barely alive. If this is real, then I hope they notified the proper authorities to come make sure whoever this is still alive. This retro arcade room is ruined by faulty wiring, or else a real ghost. To demonstrate, the owner picks up the remote to his ceiling fan and turns the light off.
There it is. Wow.
The lights somehow turn on by themselves despite not touching the remote at all. At 4 seconds, we can see the nearest light switches all the way across the room from the distinctive shark skateboard that he's now standing by. So he couldn't have hit that himself, and no one else is with him. Then, not only does the fan turn on by itself, but it also kind of goes the wrong way for a little bit first, which I don't think is normal. In a different video, the light looks much brighter than before, yet returns to normal brightness when turned off and back on. This time he turns the light out and leaves the remote on the wall. He steps out towards the middle of the room, and the light comes back on before he even gets a chance to properly set up his camera. Based on what I've seen here, I think these videos are real, because nothing stood out as blatantly fake. If this house is haunted, let's just hope it's not a malevolent spirit. After all, you wouldn't want to give up an arcade setup that nice. The San Antonio Cemetery in Texas could be one of the scariest places in the world to go exploring if this video is real. A ghost hunter from the Paranormal Journal stands in total darkness when some creepy things are caught on camera, and despite the lack of light, what he experiences is downright terrifying. His paranormal equipment detects movement, and then a single word crackles across the spirit box in an odd staticky voice. He never shows us exactly where he positioned the motion detection equipment, so it could be detecting his movement or a gust of wind for all we know. But here's something weird. If you look closely, there is a strange phantom light at 29 seconds, the same moment that the motion detection alarm goes off, that soon fades away. I would say there's another investigator, but I think that he might have been exploring the haunted cemetery all alone that night. If so, I have no idea what this light is, and even if it was a member of his team, that still doesn't explain the odd voice moments later that says hello. A YouTuber in Toronto called Nadell E claims to have heard scary sounds coming from the sky that many people have been calling sky trumpets. Tell me if you think these scary sounds from over the sky in Canada are real or fake. It's realistic how the sky sounds get louder after he opens the window, but that could be editing. Some people are saying that they've heard this same sky noise, while others are saying that this has to be fake, and that they've heard the sound effect before, but don't say where they've heard it from. Likewise, Nadell E kind of says that this video is fake, but it might be sarcastic, like he's saying this event is real and one day you'll see. How do you interpret this comment? Here's the sky noise again. Tell me what this is and if you've heard it anywhere before. A YouTuber named Dachi YT is standing at the edge of an underground tunnel when something completely unexpected comes up running to him. The real question is whether this is a friend playing a joke, or if this is a creature that was once human. The noise it makes sounds like someone struggling to make a sentence, so maybe this person has lost their minds, or is even under the effects of a possession. The small steps it takes are creepy, and it's hard to tell if he's doing them involuntarily or on purpose. Lastly, its eyes glow in the dark despite a lack of light. I want to believe it's fake, but I think the glowing red eyes indicate otherwise. So many YouTube videos, so little time. Many videos published to YouTube never even see the light of day. Posted in September of 2019, this creepy little video was discovered on the French website PetitTube. For those who don't know what PetitTube is, it randomly lands on YouTube videos with low viewership. Some have no views at all, others usually under 100 views. The short clip appears like nothing more but a random drive down a dark road at night with a slightly eerie flickering streetlight up ahead. The glow is strobing out, lighting up the trees in the distance with a haunted house effect. The driver turns off his headlights to provide the viewer an even creepier shot of the strobe street light. Music plays in the background. A feeling of foreboding creeps in, as it should. Wait until the end of the video. You won't be disappointed. Now that is bizarre. This one's a head scratcher. TikToker elkakoi.tv shares this mysterious video that's a total nightmare. Watch around the side of the door.
The f is that? What the f was that?
At first, it looks to me like a ghost peeking out sideways at the guy, but TikTokers are floating other theories as to what the heck that was.
Bro, what was that?
Well, I think Cap like Caleb could be right that it was this mirror. It's the reflection in the mirror that's throwing people off. That could be anything, but to me it looks like someone covering their abnormally large face with their hands. What do you think it is? Don't accept help from just anyone. They might not be what you think. YouTuber Scaryfield shares this creepy video which is trending in the Hindi-speaking YouTube community. The video is actually from YouTube channel True Horror Stories POV, and this horror story occurred on a dark road at night. In the beginning, the woman starts having car trouble in a cursed place.
Mati dah pula.
After pulling to the side of the road, a random stranger stops to help her.
Oh, cik. Kereta saya daripada tadi tak tahu asal tak boleh start. Dia termati-mati daripada saya jalan tadi. Tak tahu apa pasal.
Boleh tolong? The guy checks out a few things, but each time the woman attempts to start her car, it's still having trouble.
Tak ada lah. Tak boleh. Tak tahulah asal.
The man then tells her that it's not a mechanical problem.
Tapi tadi kereta saya betul-betul mati. Bukan?
Dia ikut ni.
Benda ikut? Benda apa, cik?
Cuba tengok dalam kereta sekarang.
Dalam kereta?
But rather that something attached itself to her on the cursed route she took, and maybe he was right.
Cik!
Well, this is just a reenactment. These incidents are said to be based on true events. Well, if this happened to me in real life, I can't imagine I'd live to tell the tale. At first, Redditor Dawn Granger believes this sound was in her imagination, but then she recorded it. Listen closely. It sounds like a strangled scream. Some in the comments think it's just air escaping a container of some kind. Others think it's a trapped animal. I wouldn't rule out a portal to the fiery depths below, but those two theories also seem likely. This sound is for sure something you don't want to be imagining. This paranormal investigator's creepiest capture in a cemetery is bone-chilling. The YouTuber was exploring the hauntings at St. Joseph Cemetery near Kimmswick, Missouri, when she captured several EVPs.
Michael?
Later, while she was attempting to communicate with the passed on using a spirit box, Michael made his physical cameo. Watch to the right, just above the vehicle.
Which grave is yours?
Nobody appears to be in the vicinity. So to whom does this shadow belong? I vote for Michael. A woman is practicing a presentation while her friend films, but they both become distracted by the poltergeist in the room. TikToker Real Scary Video shares this footage.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay na? Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, verified the client's... Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, explain the procedure,
First, the light flickers.
verify the client's identity, and provide...
Ano ito?
Sige pa rin, sige na.
Then something disturbs the closet.
Now that I have introduced myself to the patient...
While we can't see what made the noise, I'm pretty sure whatever it was lost its patience. Talk about a non-supportive ghost.
Ano ito?
Sige pa rin, sige na. 1, 2, 3, go. Now that I have introduced myself to the patient... Now that I have introduced myself to the patient...
Something is manifesting in this abandoned hospital. YouTuber Lalo Escalante captured this creepy entity on camera during a paranormal investigation. The spirit there does not want to let them in.
Haz algo, pues. No mames, güey, yo me voy a la mierda de aquí, güey. No, yo me voy, güey. No, el tercer piso está más caro.
But it is there. See it lurking at the end of this hallway?
Hola.
Mierda, virga, güey. Virga, güey.
When they enter the room, they find nothing, but the spirit continues to play.
Aquí donde siente más.
And then they see it again.
¿Está aquí con nosotros? ¿Hola? La enfermera, güey. Vamos con el virus. La enfermera, güey. Cerró la puerta.
But it always somehow evades them. The spirit again disappears.
Hey. Se está subiendo bien. Bestia, güey. ¿Quién está ahí?
Only to make one last spooky cameo. What does this spirit want? To me, it's difficult to tell if this is even a spirit at all. It looks solid and moves like a human. Then again, it disappears in a way that's unbelievable. It could go either way for me. What do you think is going on here? Now you see it, now you don't. A pale, ghostly figure appears at the end of the darkened hallway. It seems to enter from the left. The dog clearly sees it and runs toward it. Then when the light flips on, the figure just disappears. The dog seems as surprised by this turn of events as we are. Watch it again. The figure is visibly there. There's no mistaking it. So where did it go? Although I'm not sure where the figure disappeared to, I did notice something else in the video. Watch the shadow on the floor after the light flickers on. Something clearly walks past in the other room. Is it the ghostly figure or some other monster? When your dog sees something you don't, their harrowing sixth sense can send chills down your spine. That's what happened to TikToker Alpha Ocean 22, who writes, "I live alone and just found out about the previous owner." Alpha Ocean's footage begins abruptly with her dog barking into the darkness.
What? What are you barking at? Oh, God.
The dog is on high alert, his body language that of defense. He's seen growling and springing across the bed. Needless to say, the animal's reaction to whatever lies beyond terrifies its owner to no end. In a follow-up video, Alpha Ocean explains exactly what happened in the initial footage.
From Diesel essentially growling at nothing physical. I'm definitely not in a position to say what it was in the video or what is real and what's not. Personally, I've always been real spiritual, so I know what I felt.
She says she was woken up at 1 in the morning from her dog Diesel, growling at nothing physical. She explains that she's in no position to say exactly what it was that Diesel was growling at, though it was the first time the dog has acted this way. She, however, has always been spiritual and felt something in the home. She claims this wasn't the first time something unusual like this has happened to her. She calls the home her wildlife sanctuary, but says she's had some sense for a while that she's not supposed to be there. She discovered from neighbors that the owner of the home was a very closed-off man who lived alone with his mother who passed away. Alpha Ocean states she'll leave the rest up to the viewer's interpretation. So how do you interpret this? Do dogs have a sixth sense? And if so, did Ocean's pet perceive the presence of the homeowner's dearly departed? Or was this dog sensing something else? I guess we'll never know for sure. Something is with exploring with Tom as he checks out an abandoned mansion that isn't so empty after all. Noises make him want to run away screaming for help, but he also wants to make longer YouTube videos than he normally does, so he pushes onwards.
I'm hoping no one's in here. No one's definitely gonna be in here, so I guess I'll be fine. Wait, what the?
Tom doesn't know what to think when a clown walks out and casually turns down the hall without a single glance his way. The clown begins to rock in place, and exploring with Tom actually starts to feel bad for him, which makes no sense in my opinion, because almost no one would approach a stranger dressed as a clown in a busted mansion. Instead of running away to get help, he decides to offer the clown help himself. He never does actually dial a number, another reason this could be fake.
If I call the police for you, you're gonna get some help, okay? You're gonna get some help. I'm gonna call the police for you right now, okay?
Suddenly, the clown snaps back to reality and rejects Tom's help with a look that makes him take off.
Yo, I'm gonna help you.
In my opinion, this final response is what he should have done all along. If you're planning on going ziplining soon, don't watch this video. Captured in Wales in the UK, this video was published to YouTube by Stephen Bromley in September of 2018. The clip reveals many adventurers preparing for their exhilarating ziplining trip, and the zipline does indeed look fun for a while. That is, until Bromley's GoPro captures him starting to slide backwards. Eventually, he gets stuck hundreds of feet above the ground. Bromley explains what happened in the comments, writing, "I was at the time 14 stone, and when I went over the cliff edge, a sudden gust of wind came up and slowed me quite a bit. My brother said it was the size of my head that caught the wind. LOL. Bromley also advises all concerned not to let this video put you off ziplining. He said it was a blast and the staff were very professional returning him to safety. A man claims that he keeps experiencing paranormal activity in his dining room and nowhere else. He feels unsafe and decides to leave a camera running in the dining room to see what goes on when he's not around. Nothing happens for a while, but then something comes along in the window that looks questionable. This is the zoomed in version. A tiny face appears to peek out at them from the glass panel on the bottom right before darting out of sight. You can't really make out any of its features, but notice how some orbs float by shortly before this happens. It's hard to tell if it's a paranormal creature or just a small animal, but I wouldn't want to be left alone in the house to find out. Get out. published by Ratatat MC channel in October of 2021 and originally posted to Twitter by @HAYATIJTS. This is the creepiest witch who ever appeared on camera. The video shows an old woman in tattered clothing with long gray hair moaning on the ground of her shack. Her face is what's so scary about this. You can't make out any features but a great gash for a mouth.
Lazim. Astagfirullahaladzim. Bang Anton, jangan terlalu dekat Bang Anton, mundur Bang Anton.
As this brave woman steps away, the witch springs out from her shack, crouched down low. She crawls creepily on all fours across the ground toward the woman. The woman appears to be doing some martial arts toward the witch, preparing to defend herself. The witch then gets the better of her, casting a spell her way. This throws the woman on her side, and she sounds like she's choking, but she rights herself. The witch then casts another spell, throwing her back again. The woman is really straining this time. The witch may have won this battle, but will she win the next? I guess it's this woman's decision if she'll ever return here again. Is this cat talented, or is it possessed? Published by Darl Zand in May of 2012, this couple captured their cat acting out of character, crawling between the upper door frames near the ceiling like some crazy trapeze artist. As the couple is filming, a mysterious, vibrant blue streak flies toward the camera. The cameraman sees it in the moment and comments on it.
Which thing they...
Yeah, that was weird.
What? So...
Was that a ghost orb? Some in the comments certainly think so, but most think the cat was scared beyond measure, not possessed. The cat even appears to watch the strange orb as it flies across the room. What do you think? Scared, possessed, or something else altogether? Is there a giant panda lurking nearby? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Flower Sliders writes, took a walk on an abandoned road in rural Japan, saw this, not sure what to make of it. Local friend said he'd never seen anything like it before. The video shows a thick stalk of bamboo shaking dramatically, amongst other bamboo stalks.
Okay, that's weird, right? Why is it moving?
Yeah. Can we go? Why is it doing?
You guys not see that down there?
What?
Right there.
I'm not
Okay, why is it still moving?
The rest of the stalks are still, so what is causing this one to shake? Some in the comments think it's the Kadama, spirits in Japanese folklore that inhabit trees. Others think it could be an animal feasting on its roots or burrowing beneath the stalk. Spirits or not, it sure looks creepy. And to think before watching this video, a walk in rural Japan seems so peaceful to me.
I'm legitimately out wanting to I don't understand. I'm gonna look this up.
Oh, maybe there's some. Wait, still no, it's not. It's kind of there, so they shouldn't be.
There's something over here, moving around.
This was the moment when a YouTuber named Mixed Breed Entertainment gasped in surprise. And turned around because he thinks that he felt the presence of a ghost so near. That's not enough evidence to prove this basement is haunted. But what happens next certainly is.
Hey, try something real quick. Is there anyone here?
The stuffed animal falls over when a ghost is asked to move an object.
Did the teddy bear just move? What the f is that?
Then a ghost orb is caught on camera seemingly coming out of the toy itself.
It just got really what the f
Okay, so the toy could fall and a particle of dust could fly over it, I suppose. But when the same thing happens a second time, coincidences go out the window. Paranormal is what I think this is.
Can you move it again? Oh.
Sure enough, there's another orb when this happens. A ghost voice drifting from deep inside a tunnel is something that nightmares are made of. That's what Amy Dancing Again posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit under the title, Ghost Voice at WW2 Oil Storage Tunnels in Darwin, NT, Australia. Although the acoustics of this tunnel have been called haunting, our research uncovered no further reported paranormal activities in the tunnels, although they seem like the perfect setting for them. The tunnels were built to protect oil. Japan went after the city of Darwin no less than 64 times during this time frame, ending in 1945, with only 6 of the 11 tunnels completed. The tunnels were then opened to the public in 1992, which is how this Redditor came to explore them. They were the only people in the tunnel, as they arrived early. Another Redditor wrote in the thread that the way the camera moves when you hear the voice makes the video seem legit. What is this voice saying? I just can't seem to make it out. Bike Chin goes exploring haunted places in an undisclosed Arabic-speaking country and comes across a house I think I might have seen before in other videos. A house that should stay hidden but always gets explored. I think a lot of paranormal exploration channels come here because so much scary stuff happens almost every time. Weird things caught on camera like this.
الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
He waits until the flames die down and takes a few hesitant steps into the haunted bedroom.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن.
I don't understand why he turns his light off during the scariest moment, because that's when you would need your flashlight the most. It doesn't seem like a normal reaction, and the only reason I can think of is to let somebody set a controlled flame as part of a prepared stunt, which means this video, however creepy it may be, also has a strong chance of not being paranormal. I'll keep an eye out for other paranormal videos from this location, and if you know the name and country of this abandoned house, please let me know. Any information would be a great help. The next time you're relieved to find yourself alone in an empty subway car, consider that maybe you're not alone at all. Published to YouTube in June of 2015, this clip shows a subway car that will give you the chills. A lone man sits aboard the haunted car. After watching the clip, we wonder if he's the sole passenger, because this car has a reputation for being haunted. Because look at this darkened window pane to the left. A scary, distorted face appears here, changing expression slightly as the man sits on the opposite side, completely unaware. The face disappears and the window pane goes black again, but the distortion later reappears, looking equally upsetting. What do you think is going on here? Is this an actual face in the window, or just a trick of the light coupled with motion from the subway? Have you ever dreamt that you found someone in your bed, but when you pulled the covers away, there was no one there? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by BobbyGO1, the uploader writes, "She plays this off as a joke, but I find it quite weird. The quite weird joke was posted to TikTok originally by TJY. In the video, she says she just came into her room, and it literally looks like there's someone lying in her bed. She keeps saying ew as she approaches the thing, not knowing if indeed there is someone underneath. As she steps closer,
Ew! No! Ew! Ew! Oh my god, is there someone there? No.
the hair stands up on the back of your neck. You prepare yourself to have something or someone jump out at you, but when she lifts the blanket, nothing is there. A wave of relief washes over you, and probably her too. Watching it again, it's very strange how a body appears to be lying under the blanket, and when she yanks it from her bed, it doesn't look thick enough to bunch up like that. Redditor, the classic Drew admits in the comments, if I saw that in real life, I would be so scared. Agreed. I probably wouldn't work up the nerve to approach it. You are probably asking yourself what could possibly be scary about ice. Well, it's not so much about ice itself, but rather what's growing around the area that forms the cubes and pushes them out. A thick layer of yellow filth has taken over this restaurant ice machine, which is somehow still in service and making ice for customers. I'm not even sure what this specific part of the machine is used for, but I know I regret watching it. The yellow substance has crusted into black mold along the corners. Again, I honestly can't believe this video was recorded in a restaurant that was still open. And that's just what this ice machine looks like on the outside. What's growing inside is even worse. Take a look at this and tell me if you would want this floating anywhere near your cold drink. You'd think the cubes would be absolutely disgusting and easy to spot, but look at this ice. You'd never realize there was much of a problem, or where it really came from. This footage was taken by an American tourist who was visiting Romania. He was just walking around a local zoo on his own, checking out the sights when he hears about a new attraction that is unlike any of the others. He is ushered into a dark farmhouse along with some other curious observers. Almost immediately, the tone of the video changes from skeptical to serious. It's hard to say exactly how, but something just feels wrong all of a sudden. You can hear the villagers talking among themselves, excitedly as they push past. Farm animals are making noises as the American makes his way deeper inside. This section is very dark now, and even though the Romanians are speaking in a different language, you can tell that people are sounding worried and concerned as they come closer and closer to the main attraction. Finally, the American tourist sees it for himself. Sitting across from them on a straw floor is what appears to be a white humanoid creature with black eyes and a wide gap for a mouth. It makes a series of tortured gurgling sounds and then charges towards its cage as the video quickly ends. It's hard to tell if this is a real creature or a man in a suit because the lighting is very dim. At the same time, Romania is a very rural country, and anything could be lurking in the woods. Maybe someone really did capture this thing and drag it back to society to be gawked at by paying crowds. If this thing is real, then the poor humanoid sounds like it's been severely mistreated and probably needs help. What is moving in the darkness on this foggy road? The YouTuber thinks he's spotted a skinwalker. He gets out of his car to take a closer look, but when he does, skinwalker or not, you'd better run. Would you invite yourself into a demon's home? Published by Toppy in December of 2021. That's what this ghost hunter did, and he would live to regret it. He quickly realizes he is not alone. After hearing faint footsteps on the floor above, he sets up his camera in the darkness. That's when this happens. Later, he is trying to communicate with the poltergeist, and he receives an answer.
Это ты всех мучил здесь.
Will he heed the spirit's warning? No, he will not, and the demon doesn't like it.
Твою мать.
Would you stay a minute longer inside this haunted place? A minute seems too long to me. This giant snake is so long that it takes a full 20 seconds to record its full length. And when the camera person finally reaches the other end of the snake, they suddenly become prey. The reptile is already facing them and looks to have been waiting for them for the whole time. The camera person only has a few scant moments to let out a startled yelp before the reptile lunges straight at their face. Check out its color and markings and leave a comment saying what kind of snake you think this is. I'm hoping we can figure out what part of the world this took place in, and if the snake was venomous, in which case I doubt this person survived. A crumbling cemetery in New Orleans is crawling with restless residents. If this scary sighting is to be believed, at 18 seconds a stone slab lays on the ground as if recently removed. 20 seconds later, this mysterious figure, to use their exact words, is caught on video walking between some tombstones. This could simply be one of their friends, but if not, then seeing a random person while exploring an abandoned cemetery is really bizarre, and also more than a little creepy. They are unable to get the figure on video again, and so they leave. A photographer is under a bridge when he records what he calls a strange creature. Confused, he goes over to the spot and the mysterious figure is nowhere to be found. This supposedly unexplained sighting looks pretty good at first, and had some people freaking out. With that said, once zoomed in, this video appears to be an up-close encounter of the CGI kind, because the creature's feet hardly seem to touch the ground as it walks. Though if this was real, and you saw it, what do you think you would do? Someone is watching in the woods. Published by Mr. Horror, this short clip shows a group hanging out in the forest and what looks like the ruins of an abandoned structure. As the camera turns from the surrounding trees to the building, it captures something creeping around the door frame. The mysterious figure is but a flash, and its features are indistinct. It quickly pulls out of view. The cameraman hurries forward, revealing a campfire built outside to the right, but it looks like the creature is long gone. What was it? Are they being stalked by the unknown? It sure looks that way to me. If you heard an unexplainable spine-tingling sound, would you have the guts to go investigate?
It is that sound.
Published to YouTube by Jared McLean in February of 2019. He explains that he heard this terrifying noise outside at 2 in the morning. He said that the sound started out of nowhere and reminded him of a scary movie soundtrack. The noise seemed to be occurring a few blocks away, so he went to get dressed and drove over there to investigate. But the minute he went to leave, the sound ceased. Jared said he wondered if it was paranormal or some natural phenomenon. He asked for his fellow YouTubers to chime in with their theories. Some suggest it sounds like a badly tuned orchestra. Others say someone must have set off every car alarm at once. Still others believe it could be a train's brakes being applied on a nearby railroad track. And even more claim that they've heard the same sound themselves. Nash TV Guy put in his own 2 cents writing, "There are a ton of reports from all over the world of these strange sounds, with suggestions ranging from underground bases and drilling. What they all have in common is they're scary. At least we can all agree on that much. Any clue as to what this sound could be?" It's not unusual to try and make out figures in the clouds, but what happens when the figures are not just your imagination? This dark diamond-shaped figure floating over a body of water and below a curtain of clouds is not something your imagination conjured up. What do you see? Well, some in the comments of the video believe it's a star destroyer, a tear in the space-time continuum, or the monarch in the cocoon from Venture Brothers. Others take a more practical approach. It's called a water spout, Fisticuffs writes, and after reading up on the characteristics of a water spout, I must say I have to agree. Otherwise known as a non-supercell tornado, the funnel-like vortex occurring above a body of water in tropical or subtropical regions. is often connected to clouds overhead. So as ominous as this figure may appear, it could be naturally occurring. Still, nevertheless, it will make you question everything. There's only one thing scarier than a ghost sighting. A ghost sighting you. That's what Garments 1 claimed to have caught on video in a churchyard in Estholt, United Kingdom. The footage opens on a shot of a church. After panning down, the distinct figure of a girl peering around the corner of the building comes into view. She quickly darts back and out of sight, and when pursued has disappeared into thin air. The shot pans back to the corner, up the building and around, but the ghost girl is nowhere in sight. Whether you're a believer in the paranormal or a skeptic, this video will make you look twice. A YouTuber named GDude26 is absolutely sure that his basement is haunted. He says that something just feels wrong when he is down there, and that he and his mother have both heard footsteps coming from the basement all of the time. Both of them understandably want to know what is going on in their own home, so they set up a motion-activated camera downstairs. This camera will even send a video to his mom's phone as soon as it detects something. That way, they'll know right away. This is what was sent to their phone at 5:13 in the morning shortly thereafter. Look closely, and you'll see a strange streak of light move across the camera multiple times. GDude26 and his family are sure it's paranormal, and I think it could be too. Then again, I guess it could also be a bug or something like that, but my question is, would a small bug be enough to trip the camera? I mean, it doesn't land on the sensor or anything like that. If you know enough about motion sensors to tell me if a bug could set one off just by flying by, then please let me know. Maybe we could get to the bottom of this one together. Here's another video from the mysterious Menjur Hotel. A woman is bored and giving a brief tour of her room when suddenly a paranormal presence makes itself known.
Hello? Mike?
She waits for a tense moment, hoping that her boyfriend Mike is playing a prank nearby. When nobody answers her, she bravely opens the door and looks into the other room. Here's what she finds.
What? Nuh-uh. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Something has dumped all of her possessions onto the floor in a quick fit of rage. While it's possible that she could have done this herself, it's also quite possible that this really was a paranormal encounter, especially when you consider that fires, missing things, and other strange happenings have become the norm over the years at this hotel, which was also built over the famous Alamo battle site. Lizzie Arts is freaked out in her own home because a ghost is haunting her.
Just woke up to smoke one.
Weird things are caught on camera all of the time. Really creepy stuff like when the ghost kept setting off the smoke alarm all night.
On Home Alone. I know which one it is. It's my one. It's right over there.
The ghost seems to turn the smoke alarm on upon her mention.
We have 2 more smoke alarms in the house. There it goes again.
And instantly stops when she yells at it.
You need to stop that!
I know that scares me.
There are 2 other smoke alarms that the ghost is not bothering with. Just this one by her room. I think she should try changing the batteries and see if it still happens. If that doesn't solve it, then that means this video is really paranormal with more creepy videos to follow, I'm sure. This dashcam video was supposedly taken near Hanoi, Vietnam, and was posted on Facebook where it spread to the local news. In it, the car soon pulls up to a figure dressed in all white standing in the middle of the road. The drivers are quite concerned that this individual is standing in the middle of a pitch-black road, alone besides one streetlight above. They don't ask the person anything. Instead, they quickly drive away. While many online thought it was a ghost of some kind, news agencies have said that this was a woman who is not mentally well and was possibly attempting to take her own life. Let's hope she got the help she needed before it was too late. A YouTuber named Simo Vlogs explores an abandoned building, which he and his friends stumble across a room on the top tile floor with upside down humans. They are taped many times over, and there looks to be no breathing holes. This room looks like some kind of art storage room, so maybe these are just projects. I'm not sure why they would be wrapped and hanged up like this, so if you're an artist and know what's going on here, be sure to let me know. I'm pretty sure that this video isn't real, because this room would probably stink way too bad to go near, and plus the smile doesn't exactly look like the face of someone who just came across a psycho's secret stash, but that's just my opinion. Don't leave your fun up to an app. It might take you on a journey to your demise. Published to TikTok by Stephen Donovan, he explains that he was using the Randonautica app to direct him on a random adventure. For those who are unfamiliar with Randonautica, the app delivers a set of local coordinates supplied by a quantum random number generator. In doing so, users are encouraged to explore the unexpected. Stephen's coordinates certainly delivered. Here's what happened. Randonautica sent these two on a dirt road through an abandoned ghost town. Creepy mannequins are standing in the windows of the empty wooden buildings. The mountain roads take them past empty cars parked on the shoulder. However, no one appears to be in the area. They pass a sign that reads private property, but they ignore it and continue up the steep, narrow road. It's getting dark and they are now on foot. The pin is pulled up and they are getting close to their destination. That's when they see it.
If we had the pin pulled up, we were so close to it, and this happened. I don't know how to explain this.
Something rolls down the hill from a broken structure, and in that structure they see what looks like a melted face. They take this as their cue to leave. TikToker Rachel Chun surmises, watch those cars be the ones left behind by the randonauts that never left. Steven notes that he deleted the app after this misadventure. After this, can you blame him? Gorman Sujin is inspecting his new apartment with a camera to document any damages left from the tenants before him. He gets through all the rooms and the balcony without problem, but after reviewing the video later, he realizes that he is far from being home alone. A woman in white appears suspended in midair. I don't see a rope, but I will say she is next to the shower rod, and her feet are not touching the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what became of the last person who lived here.
This is not like your regular staircase. This is not like where you can look directly all the way to the first floor.
A man knows his apartment building has a ghost in the stairwell.
It's a creepy place.
He nods politely at someone going downstairs. Time passes and then he notices something strange.
I haven't heard of Mexico. That's the weird thing.
He saw someone enter, he heard them go down the steps, and yet they never leave.
Hello?
More weird sounds is the only response he gets. He seems like a different person in a video update 6 months later, much more cautious, like a lot has happened to him in the time since.
Creepy things have been happening here, and I know this place is definitely haunted.
This is where things get weird in a creepy way. The door he just came through is now open, and downstairs is a dark space that suddenly clears up.
What is that? I gotta look at that. That was a shadow figure.
When he goes to where the alleged shadow figure was, nothing's there. Here it is one more time, zoomed in at 22 seconds. I might see a small figure, but help me decide if it's paranormal or just my imagination. A YouTuber named Hello Ryan Holmes lives in a house that you and I want no part of. Scary noises have become part of a daily ritual stemming from paranormal activity, or so he suspects. So when it happens again, Ryan grabs a camera to see if he can catch a ghost on video.
Did you just see that? I definitely just heard somebody run up the stairs.
Ryan thinks he hears creeping noises of a ghost running up the stairs. Ghost or not, he is definitely not alone. Camera in hand, Ryan gets no further than the kitchen before he realizes...
What the
All of the cabinets have mysteriously opened on their own, and when he goes to close them...
Why the is everything open? What the What the
He turns around only to find that the ghost has moved every object in his kitchen back to where it was. It looks normal at first, but I think there is an editing cut here at 2 minutes when he briefly zooms into the cabinet for no reason at all. He could have stopped recording, moved all of the objects, and then started recording again to make it seem like it was all done in one take. This strange knocking happens at the same time every night and no other times during the day.
2:30 in the morning.
This is definitely no animal. Whoever is knocking wants to make its presence known, and apparently wants to get in now, immediately. I can also hear a strange paranormal voice before they knock during this part. I don't think it's the television because you don't hear it during any other part of the video. He shows us the outside of the trailer, and clearly nothing is out of the ordinary. Yet when he returns indoors, so does the knocking from outside.
5 minutes it's been doing it.
Hopefully whatever this is never gets the idea to try the door. A CCTV system in India shows a man walk past a little girl playing by herself. She reaches out here at the 5-second mark, but I'm not sure if she says anything to him or not. If she does, he doesn't seem to respond. He stops and it looks like he might be concerned for her well-being at first, but that's not the case. At the 45-second mark, he pauses to look directly at her, then over his shoulder to check inside the house nearby, presumably to see if any witnesses were near. He says something to her and brings a hand up to her like she is thinking something through, probably trying to judge if a statement is true. They start to walk away from her house, and he is pointing at something all the while. Maybe at some imaginary promise around the corner, meant to get her to walk with him. Everything is going to plan until she suddenly rushes back. He gives her some distance but does not leave. Time passes and he silently disappears behind a tree. I don't know if he was hoping to pop out and grab her or what, but it's definitely more creepy behavior. He stands there for a full minute after the initial encounter until walking away. Maybe he made a note of this house and plans to return. A YouTuber named Daniel Ott performs a summoning ritual that quickly comes to a close after he begins to feel weird. In doing so, he accidentally records a strange moving light while describing how bad he feels.
I don't know, my body, it just doesn't feel right now. I've just been hearing things.
It might be trails of light left by the paranormal, or it could just be light reflecting off the chandeliers as he crosses the dining room. But still, as soon as he walks into the next room, this fleeting shadow appears on the wall. It could belong to him, but the angles don't quite match up.
Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. I'm not sure if I'm probably gonna make another one of these.
One of these experiences could be easily explained away, but having both of them happen back to back is almost too much of a coincidence for me to believe, especially after a summoning ritual. This footage is terrifying to any cyclist on the road. Published in April of 2022, Cycling Mikey writes, "The footage was given to me by a subscriber who asked me to make the video available. In case anyone knows this man and is willing to give his details." He had videoed the driver using his mobile phone, and the driver took exception to that. Captured at around 10:30 p.m. in July of 2021, the footage shows a cyclist riding as fast as he can from the car in question. He is calling out to any passers-by to call the police.
Help me! Hold it, me! Hold it, me! Help me! Help me!
The car is clearly chasing him. It even drives up on the sidewalk at one point as the cyclist tries to escape. The cyclist luckily eventually loses the driver, pulls into a driveway and drops his bike to the ground. Commenters call this outrageous and criminal behavior. Well, at least one commenter was able to capture the license plate number. Was it enough to find the culprit, or does he have dodgy plates? Sadly, I was never able to find out. This video could very well be proof that the humanoid kingdom extends into the insect world. At first glance, this video appears to be a firefly or some similar sort of bug, but when slowed down frame by frame, you can clearly see that this is not a bug at all, but rather appears to be a tiny winged humanoid. The video shows an insect-like humanoid with clearly discernible arms and legs. Unlike most bugs, this humanoid only has 4 limbs, and the arms appear to be twice as short as the legs, much like a person. There's simply no insect on Earth like it. It's just too bad the lighting conditions don't provide more detail, because it would have been interesting to see more of its face and overall color patterns. Exactly where this video was shot is not known. This YouTube video posted by a user named Relly Kane doesn't have a source, but he claims it happened somewhere in Vermont. The creature looks a lot like the rake, except there appears to be 2 long and possibly razor-sharp arms jutting ahead to support its weight as it moves. The legs look very small and unnatural at 14 seconds in, and at 42 seconds, you can see its arms are way too long to be a human. However, at the 55-second mark, it looks like it could possibly be someone in a costume, leaning on 2 walking sticks. So what do you make of this? A YouTuber named Angelo Black gathers some friends and together they head to a local tunnel that's rumored to get more terrifying and dangerous the farther down you go. They begin their journey with the goal of going deeper than anyone has dared to before. Laughing and joking at first, but soon growing more serious as they huddle close, banding together against the gnawing claustrophobic dread that nobody wants to be the first to acknowledge. Eventually, they find a lonely portion of pipe that is next to no graffiti and bravely keep going. After traveling a great distance, they're now staring down an even narrower passageway that feels wrong enough to make all of them stop. One of them asks who's there, and this wild growl comes from the darkness within.
Who's there?
Before they even have time to react, the camera person thinks a face is looking at them, which I don't see, but I do hear this faint moan shortly afterwards. It's definitely coming from up ahead.
Wait. What do you see? Wait. What is it?
The moan soon changes into the same growl again, even louder this time, that I think might actually be a rusty old drain pipe letting loose. Still, I wouldn't take any chances by sticking around, especially not after I heard this. Their phone mysteriously stops recording at this point, and they get out of there fast. But whether it stopped recording because of a low battery, or because of paranormal interference has never been verified. It's almost 3 a.m., and Sean Tharp's girlfriend is heading out to work a late night shift. Soon she is calling her boyfriend, screaming about a man walking towards her. She claims the stranger was wearing no coat in absolutely freezing cold weather and came straight at her without a word. Sure enough, at approximately 33 seconds into this doorbell cam video, I can see a semi-transparent figure stomping towards her car at a high rate of speed. Then it turns around and abruptly disappears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch this street lamp get covered briefly by the person's hollow outline as a reference point. Justin White and his friends sneak into the abandoned LA Zoo, which is supposedly one of the most haunted places in the entire city. It's too dark to see much, but they seem to be followed by strange sounds that are getting progressively closer. By the end of the video, it really does seem as though something is right on them.
Oh my God! Christ! What the? Hear that? Actually hear that?
I felt something on my arm, like I'm not even joking. Okay.
We're leaving. Dunzo.
Oh my God, Dunzo.
Twigs snap underfoot just behind them. It couldn't have been one of them because everybody in the group is standing completely still on camera when it happens. Oh, and there's another piece of evidence that makes me think this zoo really might be haunted. They managed to capture a soft voice on camera that they later enhanced for clarity. It sounds like a girl's voice and she seems to have a clear warning. Predator combat drone is conducting a routine patrol when suddenly something huge and fast enters its airspace. What appears to be some kind of unidentified flying object streaks by the drone. In a gigantic burst of white light, the drone turns around to scan the area, but whatever zoomed past is now long gone. Unfortunately, no further footage was recovered. I don't know if the lack of information surrounding this video is a sign that it's fake, or it means the military simply isn't saying anything. The unidentified flying object could be CGI, but outside of that possibility, what you are watching could very well be our first contact with very technologically advanced extraterrestrials. In a small town in Texas, a church fitness class had begun one April morning in 2016. The attendees walked in only to find that someone had taken the instructor's life. 45-year-old Terry Bevers was found on the floor. There were no leads except for this security footage. You may think the person in this footage is someone here to help, but it's actually worn by whoever committed this terrible act. The culprit wore a full SWAT uniform, going room to room in the church, possibly looking for more victims. To this day, this person's identity remains a mystery. This video was streamed live from Telemark, Norway. A YouTuber named Odins2 sees a gigantic disturbance in the water, so he pulls over and starts recording. This is what he sees. It starts out as a long and skinny, shimmering mass, but after a while it really starts to take form, especially in the center, possibly as the monster rises very close to the surface. Since there are no boats nearby and the water is mostly calm, many people suspect that this is a famous legendary sea serpent named Seljord, which is Norwegian for Selma. It's kind of like Norway's version of the Loch Ness Monster. I guess it could just be fishing nets, or a long string of garbage instead, but it's hard to tell for certain. Maybe someone out there with fishing experience can let me know if it looks like any of those things. Mysterious footage of a strange event caught on CCTV leaves one man wondering if they live in a haunted house when a bookshelf purges itself of reading materials in the dark of night. Soon afterwards, the door opens, and a man looks into the empty hallway like he's seen a ghost. Judging from his timid reaction, thrown objects are a classic sign of poltergeist activity. However, some people in the comments say this was done with strings. There's one book that falls in the opposite direction as the rest. Is this simple physics or another sign from the paranormal? In 2010, a mysterious creature sighting was caught on a GoPro camera in Ontario at Algonquin Park. A large shadowy figure unsuccessfully attempts to conceal itself amongst the scenery, too tall to be a shrub and too wide to be a human. There's always the possibility that this is a mannequin and that the video is fake, but if not, then what could this strange roadside creature sighting along the woods possibly be? A weird human-like creature stands motionless when caught on camera in the forest. It's not a person wearing red makeup because the arms are exceptionally thin. It could be a special effects prop. The red figure never moves, so I have trouble believing this creature sighting is real. If I'm wrong, then this video shows why the woods of Indonesia are one of the scariest places in the world. Having this thing stare at you in the forest would be beyond creepy. UK's Drizzly Jeremy goes exploring an abandoned building, in his words, just to see how it was.
I'm gonna explore an abandoned morgue. I don't want to go in because it looks scary.
Inside is quiet and creepy. Beyond a decrepit little office and break room, they find the morgue area, where the passed away were once kept in large refrigerated units. They retch at the disgusting stench. A layer of foul slime has rotted the floor.
What? What is it? It was all soggy, man.
That's when some scary moments are caught on camera.
Go in there. Obviously, Andre. What?
They hear a loud noise behind them and quickly get out of there. I'm pretty sure the noise is coming from in the space where bodies once were.
What the?
Are you brave enough to take one last look in that storage room before leaving? I wouldn't dare. These ghost hunters in Texas capture a rare paranormal sighting on their night vision camera. I'm willing to bet you didn't see this on the first try, so I'll tell you where to look. Check out the grassy section and you'll see a small black ball cross the road. They don't see anything else for a while, and then the strange black dot comes back only to disappear again. I was thinking it could be some kind of wildlife, until it literally vanishes from sight, which obviously no living creature should be able to do.
Are you aiming down that way?
Mm-hmm.
Something across the room. You see that little light thing, that reflector on the left?
This video shows a phenomenon known as angel hair, in which strands of silk-like threads fall to the ground for several hours at a time. Scientists have tried to explain this as certain species of spiders migrating, though I don't see any spiders in this video at all. Stranger still, angel hair has been reported falling in areas that are freezing and have snow. If this really is due to spiders, then shouldn't there be activity in colder areas? These two motorists are driving around in the UK when one of them looks up in the sky and pulls over. They stare at the clouds for about 15 seconds and nothing happens. Then, just when they are about to give up, an unknown object appears immediately in front of them. It drifts into a cloud and some kind of electric reaction happens. Lightning goes off and then a weird semi-transparent rectangular object floats to the ground. The video is very low quality, so either this was taken a long time ago with a bad camera, or else it was probably edited. Either way, I must find out more about what was in that sky. It's 12 in the morning when this stranger starts creeping along the side of a fence in slow and even steps, as if in a deep trance. He has an old portable radio on full volume, and he doesn't say anything, just slowly turns the knob.
That's writers.
Occasionally, he pauses long enough to stare through the fence without saying a word. His radio does plenty of communicating though, and this part is especially weird. The radio just so happens to say something about walking away here. They reach the end of the chain link fence and nothing separates the two. The video ends with a really long stare down that the strange man easily wins. He reaches into his coat pocket for something, and the cameraman bolts for cover. A smart decision. Is there a ghost in this office? YouTuber Georgianne Hampton thinks there is. While one worker was at the office late at night, something strange happened. Watch the bottom right corner. Did something unseen just open that drawer? Or are the mechanics of the dresser off kilter? If this is a one-off event, I tend to think it is probably just a malfunctioning dresser. If there's more to the story, and more video evidence, I might change my mind though. Either way, it never hurts to burn some sage. A Reddit user named Miss Doolittle Tex posted some really creepy things caught on camera for the Chills Narrator subreddit to analyze. A man with shifty eyes and an odd expression walks to her front door and doesn't ring it, just stands there confused. He thinks about doing who knows what next and then decides against it. He leaves her door but not her property, going on to walk around the perimeter and crossing into a neighbor's backyard without permission. He returns a short while later, running away and full of energy. Only he knows what he did for sure or how bad it was. Miss Doolittle Tex calls the police to make a report, and based on this video evidence, I think she was absolutely in the right to do so. There's no reason for him to be creeping around like that, and it's good to get everything documented early, in case things get even weirder in the future. Besides, I would want my neighbor to look out for me in the same way as I do for them. It seems these poltergeists have left their group project until the last minute, published by Amar Ajola in September of 2014. This scary video caught some paranormal activity in a computer lab in Delhi's Karkardoma court. The footage shows a man sitting in a computer lab. He appears to be waiting to capture some strange activity on his camera, and then it happens. One computer monitor turns on, after another, after another. They each turn on in their own time across the lab. No one else is in the room, so the mysterious behavior of the monitors is unnerving. Some think it's a prank using remote activation. Others think it's a ghost programmer needing to complete a project. Many note the orb activity in the video. Are these the entities that are present? It's certainly seeming that way to me. This ghost has a lot on his mind. Published in August of 2021 by Gankwa P, this scary short video has got me freaked out. The security footage shows an alley outside a gated home in what I believe is Thailand. Soon a semi-transparent phantom shape appears. It can be seen against the darkness of the gate beyond. It moves past the gate and disappears. Is this ghost taking a nighttime stroll? Or do we need to call a medium? Dark, damp caves bring only danger to wanderers. And here's another proof, published by Solo Paranormal in January of 2022, and credited to Victor Perez. This encounter is super creepy. Although we don't have context for this video, from what I gather, the cameraman is navigating through a cave system in a vehicle. There appears to be an opening overhead off to the left, followed by another section of the cave. But what is that to the corner on the left? Something appears inside the cave in the darkness, a strange sliver of light. It appears only for a moment and then vanishes. What is this light in the darkness? I guess exploring that cave is the only way to find out. Why did the time traveler cross the road to get to the other side of the space-time continuum? Published by Datos Curiosos in October 2021, this cryptic video has me veering off course. The short dashcam video shows a semi ahead driving down the highway. Suddenly it veers to the left right into the next lane, making cars move out of the way in the opposite direction. Soon it becomes clear why. A man materializes out of nowhere as the semi pulls around him. He walks so slowly across the road that the car, far behind the semi, catches up with him. The man is dressed in white and is staring straight ahead, walking in a very upright manner, stiff as a board. He appears as though he's in a trance and doesn't seem to be fazed by what just happened. Who is this man, and how did he seemingly appear out of nowhere? Only time will tell. In the meantime, I think something paranormal has to be going on here. All of the other rooms of this abandoned church on Long Island look normal, yet the chandeliers on the middle floor are going crazy. Jay Brennan claims to have seen shadow figures all over this video too, so be sure to tell me if you happen to see them. Just the fact that he isn't willing to go inside at all shows exactly how creepy this situation really must have been. The lights continue to go on and off. For some reason, at the 3-minute 35-second mark, they seem to get even more intense, almost like they are feeding off his mortal energy just from standing so near. He returns the next day to prove that this church really was abandoned and no longer in service. After all, no active church would leave their courtyard in such a state of disarray. But that's not all. Jay Brennan did some major research on this church and discovered that it had 3 separate fires and was struck by lightning twice. He provides the links in the description of the video so you can read them for yourself. Maybe these flickering lights were caused by one of the spirits from the cemetery next door. This door manages to stay open for 5 full seconds before slowly swinging shut for some reason, and I want to know why. It's a lightweight door, so maybe his house isn't level, and that's why his door is shutting like that. Or maybe I just don't want to believe that his house is haunted after all. So is this an unlevel house or something paranormal? A man finally feels like he's caught paranormal evidence of his haunted basement.
Guys, I'm just cooking some food, watching the game today. I was just down in my basement, and the scariest thing that happened to me, I was down there and... Holy, did you guys just see that? You guys saw that, I just had those plates right there.
When he looks at the home security system, this sweeping shadow figure is what he's caught on tape. I'm not sure what to make of this, because the thought of seeing a shadow person in the basement is really creepy. This shadow figure could be CGI, but the uploader hasn't said a word. If so, do you think it's real?
Well, man, I'm in a two-way tunnel right now, man. If you down now, don't do it! He's moving! He's moving!
A YouTuber named Tristan R is trapped in a tunnel when he sees his worst fear creep across his visor, a spider. There's nowhere to pull over, so now he has to keep one eye on the spider to make sure it doesn't land on him, and one eye on the road to make sure he doesn't cause a pileup. He finally is able to get out and pull his visor down to show us a spider was in fact dangling over his lap by a thread this whole time. It might not look like much to most of you, but for anyone who has a major fear of spiders, it's large enough. He pulls away thinking that he's seen the last of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are hundreds more inside.
Just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
This gym could be haunted according to Coach Megan, who is making a video of her backhand spring when she sees what she describes as a little blue light on the speaker, almost like a camera flash, except she is by herself, so nobody could have taken it. 2 seconds later, a floating white anomaly travels towards her in the mirror, and then mysteriously disappears, only to resurface 2 seconds afterwards as a strange white light streaking down from behind. After reviewing the evidence, I honestly can't tell if this scary moment is a camera glitch, edited, or truly paranormal, but since the video is pretty good quality, I think it's probably more likely real than not.
Anything that's gonna scare you, it's just like lights. Some sort of paranormal activity.
A motorcyclist named Motor 2 Wrist is biking through India when he misses his turn and gets lost. Now it's threatening to rain and his bike's narrow high beams are his only source of light. Motor 2 Wrist is already close to losing his composure when he sees something that pushes him completely over the edge. Some stranger rushes at him from the side of the road. Keep in mind that it's 10 at night and there's apparently no villages around for miles. The pedestrian would have to be out of their mind to travel down a dark road in bad weather without so much as a flashlight to guide their way. Moto 2 Wrist is positive that he's seen a ghost and quickly speeds off, though it might have been someone in distress. We'll never know what the situation was for sure, but I'd like to get your opinion nonetheless. A YouTuber named Flair is left shaken after a fishing trip goes wrong, and you'll never guess how. It's a clear day when they hit the lake, but after a while, dark clouds soon roll in. Flair and his friend are too busy catching fish to notice a sudden shift. That's when nature tells him it's time to go back indoors. His line pops with static. Lightning has struck the lake somewhere and sent a jolt through them both. One of them gets into the water to tie the boat off. A risky move in my opinion. He's out of the water again before lightning strikes twice. I'm glad they both appear to be unharmed. But talk about a close call. This YouTuber is exploring a scary abandoned place in India when their adventure goes wrong at 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
நம்ம ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க டைம்ல நம்ம விக்கி கிட்ட கேட்போம். விக்கி விக்கி வாங்க.
It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but somebody walks right in front of a light, so that could be what's making the shadow figure appear. Still, it's bizarre enough to make them leave, and when they look back, they see a ghost in the window. The light passes by the window one time, doubles back, and there it is, another ghost sighting. Look again though, and you'll see it was actually standing in the window the entire time. This could be a shadow person, a djinn, or one of their friends wearing a cloak. They claim it was a ghost, but I'm not sure. This London poltergeist is extremely aggressive. Captured at around 4 in the morning, YouTube channel The London Paranormal 1 shares this unbelievable footage. First, you just hear unexplained sounds off screen. But then, it begins. And if that wasn't enough, this happens. The poltergeist sure likes making a mess. Either that or one of the fridge magnets is possessed, as YouTuber Flapzapple suggests. But that leads to a bigger question. Which one? While exploring this haunted house, the YouTube team from Dark Arts TV is being followed.
Come into this room.
Footsteps coming in.
Come into the room. Come on, you.
They hear the sound of a voice, either a woman's voice or a baby's.
Joy sounded like to me that. It's like either baby sound.
Later in another room, something is moving next door.
No. Someone's just moved in there. Where do you want us to go to?
In yet another room, they hear more footsteps and a woman's voice again.
There.
They continue their investigation and hear something walking across glass in a different room.
Try to use the energy and make a loud sound. Or can you come down this corridor as fast as possible? Walk down it, into this room.
I heard it too, and I also hear a growl here, which the team doesn't appear to hear in the moment.
Baby.
Judging by all this evidence, there's clearly something malevolent in this building, and it seems to be stalking them. I only hope they can shake whatever it is off when they leave this place. A doorbell camera captured an interesting visitor one night at around 10 p.m. TikToker LENTHIN shares this video. It appears that the woman just stands there for a moment, breathing loudly, and then leaves, carrying her bag of mysteries. It doesn't even seem like she rings the doorbell.
Hell.
Would this terrify you? It does certainly terrify me. I wouldn't open the door ever again. What is this blue sphere spinning in the sky? Shared by YouTuber Arte Morbid, this video was captured by Juanito Juan in Valle Hermoso, Mexico. The footage was taken at around 2:30 in the morning. Up close, the unidentified flying object looks like this.
I'm here for you.
When?
It was drifting over this man's house for around 30 minutes before it vanished. It certainly doesn't look like anything identifiable to me, but is it extraterrestrial? I do think the increased activity in this area might indicate something mysterious is going on. Is someone watching you while you sleep? Shared by YouTube channel blah blah, this scary video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. Security camera footage captured this paranormal event on camera. Watch for the standing fan, but more terrifying is the sleeping woman's reaction. Fans can be automated and set to start at a certain time, so to me this is not necessarily a paranormal event, but then again, her response makes me second guess myself. I tracked this video down to the TikTok account at Jezebel TikTok, but I'm not sure if this is the original source. Judging by this woman's level of fear, I can't help but think that she saw or felt something else in the room, aside from a light breeze. What do you think is going on here? Things get loud in this poltergeist paradise. Posted to TikTok, the original footage is from Dark Ghost Paranormal. In the clip, someone is wandering through a clearly haunted house. You can hear repeated banging before you can see the creepy poltergeist in the act. The culprit in the kitchen cupboard, whose door is banging over and over again. It seems like it will never end, but all of a sudden it stops. As the person steps into the kitchen, a deep gong is heard from another direction. They whip around and are looking toward a refrigerator, but there's nothing there. Although there's thankfully no jump scare, there's certainly something going on in this poltergeist paradise. Did spirits latch onto the relics housed in this Titanic replica in Branson, Missouri? YouTuber The Omar Gosh Vlogs and his team explore the Titanic Museum in this mysterious video. Each of the museum goers is given a passport, like they're passengers themselves on the Titanic.
George Wright, and you get to kind of hold on to one of these people, like they actually make you feel like you're a passenger yourself.
They use the spirit box in one of the rooms to see if any of the Titanic's victims linger.
Are there any spirits in this room with us? Say.
You were taped like 3 times.
What's your name?
They seem to get multiple responses, and as they continue, they get many more.
Are there any spirits here that were talking to me the first time at the other exhibit?
Although I didn't see any paranormal activity throughout the exhibit, these legit responses to Omar's questions makes me think that there's really something to this place, fitted with a replica grand staircase. It also just seems like an exhibit I'd want to visit and explore myself. Disembodied voices and shadow figures plague the Mount Morris Mystery House, and YouTube team Spirit Walk Paranormal are here to investigate. The first whispers come as one of the team leaves this room. Although I don't necessarily hear what the team has heard, there is a distinct voice there. Shortly after, as the Steadicam sits there, a strange noise is heard. That sounds almost mechanical to me. Next is this unexplained tapping. Followed by this singular tap. Later, as one of the crew is touring the house, he hears this mysterious knocking. He continues the search, which turns up this disembodied voice.
So I'm gonna close the door.
That could just be the sound of the door closing, although it does sound suspiciously like words. Another strange sound is followed by a disembodied voice.
We can...
And shortly after, another is heard.
There's some toys.
Are these many bodiless voices coming from the beyond? I think that may be the case, because to me, the whispers sound not of this world. YouTuber Lomar Mendez and his team investigate a haunted funeral hall in this scary video. In the hall, they find a lift that was used to carry the bodies.
Yes, but we see the bodies up.
Wait, what? They used to use the bodies to... Whoa.
Literally, my casket-sized lift, you see?
Oh, yeah.
They also find a casket.
This is what I was talking about. Chelsea's getting some photos, but there's a casket in here. Is it the chairs are still on?
Angelo feels a tug on his backpack.
It literally felt like I felt as if somebody was grabbing the bottom of my backpack and just like slowly pulling.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Nearby, they discover a strange collection of stickers.
What?
Stickers of Jesus. Well, a bunch of...
It's a little weird.
That was these donut cards. They were in for transplant.
Like a giant pine cone.
Then Chelsea hears something in the other room.
Listen.
What?
Listen, there's like a noise.
Where?
Coming from behind me. Hear that?
I mean, I guess.
Repeating.
When they go to investigate, Angelo feels something touch him again.
Someone touched you?
Like, as if like something like, you know when something flicks you like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like.
I don't think it could be that. That's a different feeling, you know?
They ask the spirits who did it.
Can you tell us who touched Angelo? Oh, that said hello.
Dead.
Hello.
Who's here with us right now?
And they eventually find out his name.
Rick. Is your name Rick? Yes or no?
I'm listening.
Yes.
Yes.
As they get ready to head upstairs, Chelsea hears another noise.
What? You okay? What?
Did you hear it?
It's like a tap on the blog.
Oh. I did just ask for a knock.
Did you?
Yeah.
Back at the coffin, they examine it further, look closely at the Polaroid.
It's a
Polaroid, but it's like faded.
Right?
Many YouTubers in the comments see a creepy figure in this picture. Do you see it too? Shortly after, they hear something.
But nothing said. You didn't hear that? It's like a thud. gonna follow us.
We did ask him to follow us.
And later, on the second floor, they find an overhanging lantern swinging on its own.
This is no thank you. We were all in separate rooms.
Do you think it could be the wind?
Is something following the crew around this funeral home? I agree with what Angelo said earlier. You'd almost hope that whatever is stalking them is a spirit, not something alive. When you explore abandoned places, you're bound to run into squatters once in a while. YouTuber Aiden's Escapades isn't sure if he's encountering a person or a pile of blankets during his current escapade. Judge for yourself.
Oh, no, T-War. You got that stick, right? My heart is racing. It's been moved. Is there anything underneath there, John? Pull it all the way off. Just pull it all the way off.
Although they don't find a human body beneath the body-shaped pile of blankets, they do find a living creature.
Oh, you're sitting in the bed. Amber, come here. Pick the little guy out. Looks like he's gonna do okay.
And that's not the only thing living in this abandoned home.
These guys up shit.
Aiden concludes that they may have investigated too late,
Is anything underneath those blankets? It's not here now.
but my verdict is that it was just blankets all along. This video, captured in Israel, has me wondering if there's a whole other world under the sea. YouTuber Tpoza1996 shares this footage of what they believe is a mermaid. Watch and judge for yourself.
Yeah, man, it's cool. You got a seal all rocked out over? That thing. Yeah. That's a weird looking seal, man. Yeah. Show me this.
Was that a seal or a mermaid? Take a closer look.
Please? Oh my. What is that?
While many in the comments think it's a real mermaid, I don't think the footage is clear enough to tell what exactly it is. But its movements don't scream seal to me either, and the way it turns around to look at them is super creepy. If it's not a mermaid, I think it could very well be some other underwater mythical creature. While in this abandoned house, YouTube team Nerve Paranormal witnesses the paranormal, and the spirits here want to play ball. Watch the blue ball in the bottom left corner.
Yes, Wunder, slip a bit. Shut it.
As they're listening back to a recording, Tim hears something in the darkness.
Слышь.
I can definitely hear something moving. It sounds like it's coming from another room. When they later investigate, they hear footsteps behind them.
That all goes in their heels.
And a light swings overhead. Later, as they're trying to connect with the spirits at the bottom of the stairs, something is thrown at them. Dennis and Tim want answers, but it seems to me like the ghosts just want to play. Would you play with them? I think I'd pass. Redditor Not Your Average BR is wondering if the paranormal community can help identify these strange noises heard on an Air Force base. Listen closely. The video goes on for more than a minute. Redditors in the comments have a few theories. After hearing a recording of tree frogs, I agree with LuckyBet9188. It does sound like it could be their mating calls reverberating from a distance. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, while ghost hunting in Fort Langley, BC, Redditor official ECYT captured some creepy EVPs, but it was only when editing the footage that he discovered loads of other paranormal activity. First, introductions. Somehow the ghosts know the crew by name.
So, your name. It literally just said your name just now.
Wow.
Are you trying to talk to Gabriel? I said your name. That, out of all the names?
That's pretty specific.
Gabriel doesn't seem too impressed, honestly. I'd be freaking out in this situation, especially after seeing this.
You see that? I saw something in that window just now.
In my opinion, the figure that appears to peek out from the side could just be the outline of another arching window on the opposite wall. The camera shifts, which could elicit the peeking motion, but the atmosphere remains creepy.
Heard that?
I heard that.
We just walked by there was like nothing over there.
Did you see it? If they really did see a shadow person, maybe I was wrong about that church figure. Maybe it followed them. The roots of British Columbia's historic Alexandra Lodge reach back over a century to the pioneer and gold rush days. While staying overnight there, YouTube team Ghostly Activities is having a physical reaction to the place.
I just felt like somebody pushed back on my knees.
Really? Like actually?
Yeah.
Shit. Can you do that again to Anthony?
With the spirit box on, the team is given a familiar warning.
That was fun.
It said leave.
The spirit is adamant.
Need to leave.
Leave.
Go.
Will they heed its command? Of course not. Later, while they're using the Estes method, they hear a distinct knocking.
So,
We just heard a noise up here
just like a knocking.
of wood.
And they feel something or someone's presence.
What the heck is happening right now?
It's like we're being surrounded.
Yeah.
They're gone. No, they're not.
Is the team being surrounded? And with what intent?
Who's gonna die? Why would you say that?
I think the answer to that question is fairly obvious. Gather around this haunted and abandoned cabin in the woods. It has some ghost stories to tell. Debbie from YouTube channel, Spectral Researchers, Spirit Talkers, shares this video of their investigation of this mysterious place. Using a Kinect device, Debbie greets her first specters.
I really would love... Oh, hello there. Hello, two of you. Well, hi. Very pleased to meet you. My name is Debbie. Please excuse my intrusion in your home.
The figures remain visible for several minutes.
I don't mean any harm. I just want to talk to you and let you know that you're not forgotten.
One of the figures comes and goes. The little one seems to be doing flips or something. It's all over the place.
Hello. Can you tell me what year you moved into this house?
Then they both leave, but one is coaxed back.
I saw you come back there. What were you growing in that shed? Was that you growing something?
In no other room in the house does Debbie capture any figures on the Kinect. It seems to me that they congregate here for some reason. If I had to guess, I think it's either where they passed away or is their favorite spot in the cabin. Pull a pint with this ghost and YouTube team. Tommy among the tombstones. The paranormal investigators head to a haunted bar and their chat with the spirits sees some action.
Now, we're gonna try to communicate with you in an older way.
Dude, it's touching it. It's touching it.
Thank you for touching that.
After making their presence known, the spirit amps up its energy.
Dude.
More energy.
What? Oh my.
I just got chills.
That seems like a pretty pointed remark through the spirit app, and it turns out the spirit is somewhat disgruntled by their intrusion.
If you don't want us to do the spirit board, touch that.
Leave me alone.
What? What the dude? It does not want us to do this.
I agree, it does not want them here. If I had to guess, this spirit would like to drink his spirits in peace. After the alarm went off at their cafe, Redditor ODHB went to check the CCTV footage. This is what they found. A dark figure moves into the corner and shortly after races across the room. The figure doesn't seem tall. Compare it to the table nearby. It looks like it's crawling on all fours. Some in the comments think it's a cat or a dog. They even say they see 4 legs. But the figure seen briefly at the beginning of the video looks much taller. Could it be an animal climbing in from the window, jumping down, and then scurrying past? That would be my logical explanation. But even if it's not, I think we can rule out a bug on this one. Is this a chupacabra? YouTube channel Getting Spooky shares this creepy video of a strange creature seeming to feed off of a goat. Keep an eye on the goat's underbelly.
Véanlo. Ahí, mírenlo.
What is that? The guys try to chase it down, but it eludes them.
Y miren ahora, miren lo que pasa cuando se le quita de encima. Vean, ellos ahí en ese punto se le desmonta.
But then it detaches and slithers away.
Mírenlo, ahí va, véanlo. Ahí, mírenlo ahí.
Some in the comments say this is what's called a hantu air, a water ghost found in Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. I believe it. The way it looks and moves is too unusual to be any type of animal. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste? Uy, ya fue adentro. ¿Fue adentro? Verga, mi gente. No mames, se oyó aquí en corto. Si fue ahí, si fue adentro, fue adentro. Oh, chingas a tu madre. A la verga, vete a la verga. Pendejo, callito, pendejo.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview.
No mames, bueno, ¿dónde vas? ¿Qué pedo? No mames. No mames, güey. Esta madre, güey. Acá estoy mamada, güey. Espérate, tú.
Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. Is this Tinkerbell? Redditor FlickMe666 would like to put their friend's mind at ease. The Redditor's friend captured this strange figure on their CCTV, and although they initially thought it was a bug, its glow looks pretty intense. The Redditor asks other Redditors what they think it might be, and they have answers. But Redditor Corbin Kangaroo has probably the most logical answer. The more I look at it, the more I think this is probably on the right track, but I'm still hoping it's Tinkerbell. What would you think if you saw this clip? Demonic possession? Superpowers? Is this girl a witch? What's happening here is none of the above. Things are getting atomic up in this classroom. Posted by TikToker Zula5439. This individual is touching something called an electrostatic machine. The hair raised is because it becomes electrified with charges of the same polarity, which repel each other. She is instructed to throw the electrons. Her hair is supposed to go down when she does so, as it loses static, but the instructor says she didn't throw them right. Well, this experiment is completely normal in a science classroom. Without context, one might think this video is supernatural. Either way, it's not easy to forget.
Shit.
Okay. Now you can throw those electrons. Watch your hair when she throws those electrons. No?